Jane and this thing, you feel me, checking in, what's happening with the fellas?
What up?
Shave my beard. I got a haircut today so I can be fresh for the powerhouse. You dig?
Oh shit, dog. You look like a new man.
It's a little different. As soon as I shave the rest of this off, you're gonna be like, damn, that's a different person.
Oh shit, bro. You're no longer Diamond X, bro. It's game over, dog. What up, guys? Look at the squad right here.
Hey,
What's
Carlos,
up?
I just thought about something. I talked to a seller today that's selling his house, and he said that he had seller financing terms. And every time I talked to him about it, he kept trying to ask me, like, when does an investor ever do we send over things like, you feel me, all of our shit, like debt to income ratios and all of that stuff, to like regular home sellers who are selling rental properties?
They wanted to ask you for that information.
Like he wanted, you feel me, I don't know, he was saying he wanted to see like what my income looks like with like a couple months worth of like something or some shit. Like he was talking to me like he was trying to look at my shit like he was like if he was a bank, you feel me, like looking for me to get a loan. Like he wanted to look at my life, and I was like, it's kind of
That's
awkward.
how that's just him doing his due diligence, as a guy who's open to doing creative financing. He's probably a little bit versed on it. And
Mhm.
so same thing with you. It's like when you traditionally, a lot of people who are landlords, they do a credit check, right? Make sure you're okay. This guy's responsible. He's paid his bills on time, right? Some people do the credit check, where the majority of them do. Some don't. Some of them ask to see what your bank statements are. So there's just qualifications for everybody, and maybe that's just his qualification if he's willing to do on terms. But I mean, how did you respond to him?
I ain't gonna lie, I was lightweight caught up and stuck, and I was just kind of asking him, like, I wish I would have really recorded this one. It caught me off guard. And he was like, what did I say to him? Because when he asked for that stuff, I was like, like I could send it. I told him, I asked him for his email, I could send it over to him. Cause like he caught me off guard with it. And I was like, I could send that over to you. Like, what's your email? And he was like, well, you don't want to talk about the property first? And I was like, well, damn, I started off talking about the property. You started talking about, like, I wanted to know what your terms look like. And then you telling me that looks like that depends on what I'm looking at. So I told him I'm an investor, not a retail home buyer. You feel me? So like I'm looking to buy it like as an investor. And he's like, well, I need to see everything you got. You feel me? Like this, that, and the third. And I was like, well, what type of terms are you looking to get? Like, so if we agree on the purchase price of what you have for asking price, like how much down are you looking to get? And he just keeps telling me it's on my whatever documents or whatever I can prove to him so that we can come up with something. And I was like, but we can do that just right now, verbally talking to each other. Like we can fully structure out how we want to do this transaction. And he just keeps saying that he needs to see like how much money I make, what's my debt to income looking like, blah, 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 who's they skipping all of that. And I'm like, okay, but you just told me, let's talk about it first. Because when you said you wanted to see it, I said, well, can I get your email so I can send it to you? And then I was going to come ask you a question. Like from that point, he continues the conversation. You want to talk about the house? Let's talk about the house. We start talking about the house. We start talking seller finance. And then he tells me that I'm too worried about seller finance, that he's more worried to talking about somebody that's worried about the house. And I'm just like, it was weird because I think I approached it a little bit different because this was a follow-up I had. Like I texted him before and like the text conversations got nowhere. And then that's when I was like, why you being a bitch? You feel me? Like just get on the phone, start talking to people, like get these conversations going. So now, like I said, different phone, new number. Who this? It's me again, calling you again. So here I am getting on the phone with you, and it's just weird because I ain't never had a seller sitting there asking me, to see, what this look like with that. Can you send me over this stuff? And then I was just like, we can do this. And then he's like, well, let's talk about this. So we talk about this, then I talk about that, and then move back into, so what are you trying to get down on a purchase price of this? And then he's just like, it depends on what your income looks like.
No, Nick, he didn't say that on the phone, Nick. He was saying that to himself. Shane, yeah, you know what? Like I said, it's just maybe his qualifications, man. He can do whatever the hell he wants. People can do what the hell they want, especially for sale by owner people. That's why they're always over asking. They do what the hell they want, That's just his qualifications, man. And you have a couple options. You either partner up with somebody that doesn't mind showing them the proof and then walk them through the deal, or you just move on by. You don't have to worry.
That's what I was thinking, because I tried to use the way you explained to me how to, like, just watching you walk people through stuff and me walking through it with him.
Yeah.
That's when he was like, you're kind of worried about this seller finance thing a lot. I said, well, you put it inside of your description. That's the reason why I contacted you. So, like, the basis of this phone call was about seller finance.
I'm not trying to remember what I always say about like the negotiation only comes up when it's time to talk numbers. There's no reason to remind somebody the entire time that you're trying to buy. They know what's up. They know what the call's for. They don't even know you, and they know what you're calling for. Especially when you state, hey, I the first time we text them from the Zillow. So your whole goal now is to just find the motivation and see if that motivation is going to work with your business model. And if so, then spend time building rapport. When it's time to hit the number, go for it. Go for it. Maybe you bug them out on about creative financing. You talk about it when it's time to talk about numbers, right? Maybe you don't have to remind them throughout it. Like I remember in the car business, they would say, "Oh, well, can I get like $1,000 discount?" Okay, but if I did $1,000 discount, you would sell it. You would buy it from me today. Like imagine that the entire time you're reminding somebody that you're trying to sell a car to, they know that they're fucking trying to buy a car. And after each little negotiation I do, I'm just trying to remind them that if they're going to buy it from me, if I do this, it'll be a little annoying. And so you should maybe, I'm not sure, I didn't hear it, but maybe could have just talked about the property majority of the time, just bullshitting. Even if he said, don't you care about the property? I typically tell the truth. No, not really. It just makes me money. I don't put my emotions into that property. But
well, I didn't say it like that. He didn't say, "Did I care about the property?"
No, I know you. I know you didn't. I'm saying me though. I'm saying me.
Because I think it was, when I see in the description it says seller finance available, I just asked, "Hi, is 123 Main Street still available and for sale?" They say yes. I noticed in a quick text real fast. I noticed in your description it said that there was an owner carry like seller finance available. What do those terms look like? That was the other day. It said, "Call me tomorrow." I said, okay. So when I woke up, texted them like, all right, I'm ready for whenever you call me. I waited probably like an hour. They called me. Boom, hit me up. And when I was talking to them, I said, so, okay, hi, I was interested in seeing the house. He was like, are you one of those people that like seen the house or whatever, or like haven't seen it, but like don't care? I said, no, there's a plethora of pictures on here. Plus I've been following you for a couple of months. If you don't, actually texted you from a different number before. So like I've actually talked to you a couple of months ago before you did the work that you did on the house. And I've noticed now that the price has dropped some. So I was just coming back to see if you had any like troubles or anything like that selling the house. So then he tells me that like he's not having trouble selling the house or nothing, just he wants to like do it like seller finance. And I said, that's perfect. My business model is like that. So like what type of terms are we looking at? And as soon as I said that, that's when he was like, were you not worried about the house? And I was like, I'm not that far from it. I've driven, to be honest with you, I'm being legitimate honest with him. I've driven past that house a multiple of times, DoorDashing in Elk Grove, which is where I DoorDash at all the time. Like when I was DoorDash, that's where I do it at. I know exactly where his house at. I told him where it's at. It's past the Kiki's Chicken, a couple up. You keep going down a couple more blocks. When you hit the roundabout, if you go straight, don't hit the first left, hit the second left. which will lead you on the big round street, which leads you right over there. I was like, I've been past the house a multiple of times, and I've seen it before you did the work to it. But now I'm looking at the pictures of the work of what it looks like now. I see you change the color from it used to be a beigeish color to where now it's a dark gray color. He's like, yes. I said, yeah. And before the pictures that you had on the listing in the backyard, the pool used to have a lot of leaves and stuff around the pool, was kind of dirty. The picture now, I see you got the pool cleaned up. I see you guys power washed all that stuff out of the way. Like I was just reiterating to him, I've been following you for some time now. This is just a follow-up. And then at that point, he's like, so you don't want to talk about the house? And I was like, I know what's going on with the house, but like, I didn't say that to him. I was just like, yeah. So like, and that's when I started telling him, like, I see how you did this. Y'all moved some stuff. I see you cleaned it up. Was it actual like house you were living in or not? He said, no, it was a rental property. And the pictures he had was with the renters before or whatnot and stuff. So I was like, all right, cool. Shit. All right. So what are, so say today, we can come up with some seller finance, like what's stopping us from signing a contract? He was like, really nothing but seeing like your credentials and stuff. I was like, cool, I got all of that. So like, if we agree on the purchase price that you have right here, what are you looking to get like as a down payment? And then he's like, well, I'd need to, and then that's when he's like, I would need to see, how much money you make a month, this, that, and the third, and all of that. And I was like, so it's just somebody that hit me with, like you said, he has a different criteria than a somebody else.
Yeah,
it caught me off guard, and I was just, it wasn't a bad situation. It was just like, ooh, you was the one that got me. Like you got me this week. Like you were the one that got me with something new. Okay, because everybody else since I've been practicing a lot, I've been pretty much there for a lot. He came with a whole new ball game. He's hitting me like, I'm versed in this. I got rental properties. You feel me? Like this has been a rental property, so. The way it's going, like I need to see this, that, and the third, because I've had people that's, I've done that for somebody before, and they had to go through a foreclosure, and like this, that, and the third on my property, and I was like, oh yeah, I ain't even down with none of that, and then talked him through the whole third-party servicing thing and how it don't mess up, this, that, and the third and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, so I'm gonna just need to see like what you got going on, and I was like, well, as I told you, if you give me your email, I could send you that stuff early in the conversation so that we wouldn't waste anybody's time. And then he instantaneously switches up and says, well, you know what, how something. And I stumped him on it because I reiterated the third-party servicing company thing and how we have the contracts, performance deed and all of that, of how no matter what, if I do not do what I'm supposed to do, obligated by this contract, how he can get his property back without having to go through the like courts and all of that shit. And he told me straight up, he don't believe nothing I'm talking about, and that I'm too worried about seller finance. And I said, damn, I thought I was like, I thought I was doing this right. But I was like, he's just the one guy that got me with something. And like, just like, I was like, wow, like
you don't sound motivated.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not bullshitting. And then that's when I hit him with what Carlos says. And I'm like, you know what? You don't seem too motivated. I'm not in any rush to spend any money right now. And I see that you're not in any rush to try to sell your house or anything like that.
Follow up.
Yeah, so the best option that you have right now is just list it with an agent so that you can make sure you get the amount of money that you're looking for and just get that house off your hands. You don't even need to sell it. Seller finance is rental property. It's been almost 100 days on market and you put work into it. Might as well just cash out the money that you can get. You're going to get into a win-win situation since there's no mortgage on it. You're going to end up leaving with more money than you needed in the first place. So I told him you might as well just get a realtor or an agent and list it with. Go ahead and get your cash sale. But we ended the phone on good terms. And then he ended up still sending me his email. So I was like, I just got caught up in the mix of, hey, this guy, a little more versed. He got a different set of criteria.
It happens, bro. It's not all the time, but you'll get those. You'll get some that are versed, some that act like they're versed, and everybody can act like how they want, right?
Well, I would believe him. He said he went through the pain of somebody actually having to foreclose on or some shit like that. So I was like, oh, that's really, he ain't talking. He not opposed to dealing with wholesalers. He said that's not a problem of his. The problem is people not performing on the contracts.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I guess you tried it, right? So just follow up with him.
Yeah, that was a good one. I said all the practice I've been doing the last couple of weeks kept me in the game on that one. I felt like I almost like rookied out or had him get mad at me, but that I still can get into contact with him. Like we're still good. It wasn't nothing bad.
Gucci. How's everybody doing?
Good, bro.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Doing good, bro.
That's good, man. What's up, Chris, Jesus, Johnny,
Yes,
Nate, what up, everybody? Annika, DeMarcus, Tommy.
Yo.
What up?
Hey.
Who's the what's this? IG Rondo.
Yo,
Who was that?
this is I'm new to the wholesaling thing. This I had text Carlos earlier because Alexandra had told me to go to this call. They told me
That's
y'all
right.
jumping on here.
Okay,
See, you
cool.
into that FX trading. I know a little bit about that HFX.
But yeah, that's good. We could work.
Catching pips. Boy, I seen pips per day. I said, ooh, I like to catch pips.
Who's the Zoom user over here?
How long y'all been doing that?
How long we've been doing this?
Yeah.
Consistently, I don't know, probably like 6 weeks now. We've been doing this for a few months though, on and off on the consistency of doing this daily. So we do it Monday through Friday now. It's been real consistent. Monday through Thursday, we do role play, and then I typically jump on live calls. I'll call anybody's leads live. We'll do wholesale, creative financing, all types of strategies, Q&As, and then Fridays we do multifamily. And on Saturdays, we're starting to bring like special guests to come educate the class or the group on certain specialties that these investors specialize in. I think this upcoming Saturday, if it's a go, we have somebody coming in to educate us on what a 203K loan is. I don't really know too much, but Josh, he knows a little bit about it, and he's going to be purchasing a home using a 203K loan. And there's some cool benefits from it. I'll have Josh kind of touch up on that, but it's really cool for you guys to dial yourself in and lock in that address. I mean the date once we get it, and come to that class. It's gonna be dope. But Josh, tell them a little bit like about the 203K loan.
Oh, with the 203K. Oh, well, okay. With that.
So y'all walk us through everything step by step though, right? To help me understand, you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing, because I really got brief knowledge of everything. I watch all the videos that Brent has when I went into the class and everything, and I started cold calling. But my plan for everything is to make at least 100 calls a day, because I'm in the U.S. Army, so I don't really be, you know what I'm saying, having time. So I'm trying to maximize my time by strategizing it. And I'm not really seeing no results. I don't even know if I'm doing it wrong or what it is. I just want, you know what I'm saying, somebody to show me what I'm actually doing and show me right from wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. What's your name again? I don't know. I just see your IG name.
Oh yeah, I probably gotta fix that. My name is Karondo.
Karondo?
From South Florida, yeah.
Karondo, man, thank you for your service, first off, man. And to answer your question, yeah, we can help you out from start to finish. Just, bring the questions that you have. We'll answer them live right here. We're going to do some role play and live calls. And, here's one thing is getting into this when you know the basics. You can jump on the phone and call the lead. You may have a good lead. You may have a bad lead. But if you're not seasoned enough to qualify a lead, know if it's motivated or not, and then know how to maneuver through the conversations, you might be leaving a lot of food on the table. And so right here, we'll be able to catch that once you start jumping on the role play and we hear how you sound and perform on the phone. And we just practice right here to get better. So we'll help you out even on the phone, acquisitions, whatever questions you have, man. When you're stuck, just ask us. So we'll help you out. No worries.
For sure. I like that.
Ooh. Yeah, put your name in the chat so then other people can send your number and your location.
Yeah, with that 203K that we're going to be learning about, it's a good way for people to get into either a home themselves or even investment property. With you don't have to have a really high credit score, and also you don't have to have a whole lot down to where it can be 3.5%, of the purchase price, and then they'll also give you money for the purchase price and then the repairs that need to be done on it as well. So you get a little bit of a fixer, and it can be 4 doors or less. So the one I'm going to get is a triplex. So I can rent out 2 of them. And then one stipulation is you do have to live in it for, I think, a year. Yeah, it's a HMLA or FMLA loan.
That's the one that people use for like house hacking.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, go crazy. I need to learn about that, because if I can do that out here right now while I'm trying to do this, because I also still have somewhat good credit. If I could do that right now and get into something like that and have like 2-3 other people paying my rent on that too while I'm doing this, I could advance.
You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Hey Josh.
Yeah.
Question. Can you basically set up a business where you leverage somebody else's credit to set it up and get the 203K loan, or this has to be in your personal name?
This does have to go into your personal name.
Got it.
To start with. Now, I'm looking, one question I have for the guru guy, Matt, is if it can be transferred, like how long it has to be before you can transfer it to your LLC. So maybe after 6 months or a year, maybe you can transfer it to your LLC, and then maybe you're just making a payment to yourself.
I think it could work that way, because usually once you satisfy the year, they're like, it's good now. Like you can, once you're able to satisfy that year and they unlock you from being able to have to be owner in it and can get out of it and put another renter in there, you for surely should be able to do that.
Yeah. And then also that'll count as your income as well. So say that's an extra $30,000 a year. Well, now on paper, you make $30,000 more a year. So that puts you to where you could go get other loans, or, you could go to get another house or whatever. So, I mean, I just know the basics so far. So he's going to walk me through it all too. And I'll be learning as well. So we can all learn together. And, I think everybody could really benefit from it.
Gucci, it's Gucci.
So
Then we have any questions before we go into it? Go ahead, speak.
I was just saying, whenever we get a for sure date, we'll let everybody know.
Oh yeah, sweet. Where's my boy Gillis? My boy Gio. That's my boy. Oh man, I don't know. He's probably working. I don't know, getting home late. Who knows? He'll be in here.
I have a question, Carlos. When they say that their wife is a realtor, how, and then when you ask if they're considered selling and they're like, oh, my wife is a realtor, and, you having dialogue, and you would say, well, have you considered terms? And he's like, no, I just want a retail buyer or cash offer. How do you normally segue, or how can you pivot to move forward from that? Or can you move forward?
No, not necessarily. You can't. It's harder to move forward. And here's a couple of reasons why. Because it's hard for somebody to do what you want them to do on probably the biggest purchase or biggest sale of their life. So it's harder for you to try to create something. It's easier if you try to just find the deal. Meaning that, like, when you call somebody and they're open to sell to your business model, and then you can come in range, then you have opportunity to get a deal. But if somebody's, open to selling, but they're not open to selling to your business model, you can't change that. You can't change that unless they try selling it on the market. It doesn't sell unless they try keeping it and renting it out, and they don't want to do it no more. Then you have the opportunity. But in reality, you can't really overcome the fact that somebody would rather just list this and get full price. You just got to find some, when you call somebody and they're actually open to selling to someone like us, our business model, then that's when you should start building the rapport. I don't really like to, when I used to cold call, now I do a lot of follow-ups for others, but when I used to cold call, I used to gauge the motivation first. just right away, hey, what's got you considering selling? And if I heard, oh, because the market's hot right now. So then I would say, oh, okay, I got you. So it sounds like the only reason why you would sell is because the prices are high, right? And if I hear, yeah, I'm like, got you. Well, hey, we may or may not be a fit for each other. This is how I purchase properties for my business model. When I buy them cash, I plan to fix and flip them. So I look for properties that I can purchase at just a little bit under market price, right? So you can just say it nicely, just a little bit under market price, so I can put money in and then flip it for market price and make a profit. Would you, if you had to sell this property, would you sell it to a business model like mine, where I purchase them at a little bit of a discount, or would you rather just list this with your wife or whoever, right, and get the maximum price on it? And that's going to give you the actual answer right there. They're going to tell you, no, I'd rather just sell this for full price because that's what I'm going to go for. Cool. Right there, then you just tell them, well, I don't think you're going to have a problem selling this. You have a good day. Boom.
Okay.
Move on to it. Yeah, it's all about gauging the motivation.
Thank you.
No problem. What's up, Eunice?
Yes,
How are you?
tired, but I'm good. I just
Yeah.
want to jump in and listen. I mean, I
No.
literally just got back home, so
No
when I saw
problem.
it popped up on my phone, I was literally driving. I rushed in to plug in. So
Cool. I want to get some role play started. So who? Oh, Abe, you got a question, Abe, or no?
Oh yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just regarding two leads, I just wanted to know your what your opinion is. What would you do in these cases? So I spoke to this guy. He actually just remodeled the whole house about 2 years ago. He just bought it, or for like it seems like a flipper.
Uh-huh.
And his mortgage is $800 a month, but he told me that he's going into foreclosure, even though it's a little shocking because the guy has a nice job. He said he fell behind. And then he tries to catch up, but the lawyers and the banks are all playing games with him. He said every time instead of giving 800, he gave 1,200, and then he gave 1,100, and he tries to catch up, but they just don't want to work with him. So before he goes to foreclosure, he said he's willing to work something out with me. So I mentioned the idea that I would take over the payments. I think he understood me. He said he's okay with it, but he said that he would want to stay inside the house after I do that because he has nowhere else to go, and he would pay rent. It's a no-no.
No.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sir. You do not want to do that. If you can't afford it right now, what's going to happen when you say yes to him? You get his hopes up, and then you do that, and this is where you find your mistake. This is where people lose. It's a good opportunity. It sounds sweet, sounds promising, but if he was in good standings, he wouldn't be going into foreclosure, and you don't want to just take that chance. You'd rather you get it vacant and save his credit on the property. Because if it goes to foreclosure, the next step from foreclosure is the auction. And if you go into the auction, what happens is it not only ruins your credit, no bank will loan you for the next 7 years for a home. And that's like major for a lot of people. So you can always bring that up on a phone call and let them know and say you're still willing to help them out, but vacant, contingent to the property being vacant.
I got it. So what should I mean, the Zillow price is 133. I didn't do exactly such good comps, but I think it's about 140 or in that ballpark, and he owes 118. So should I just ask him to take over his payment?
Oh yeah, for sure. So here's the thing with foreclosures. I like working them for the fact that they're really distressed. Now it's obviously not cool and to be in their position, to be in that distressed position. The reason I like working them is because typically, since they're super distressed, they're willing to sell it to you for just to wipe their hands clear. Meaning, a lot of them you can get with like no money out of your pocket, no equity to them, or if they need a little bit of help, you can give them 5-10 grand. But not a lot of them are actually kind of asked like market price. They just need help. They just don't want to ruin it. They feel they get into this emotional stage. That's what happens. A lot of them get into it, and it's pretty sad. I've talked to a lot of them. I've purchased one of them. I just closed on it last week from somebody. I helped him out catch up his arrears. I first agreed to him with no money to him, just clean up the arrears. And then he needed some money to move and just kept asking me. And so I gave him like 9 grand. it's still a great deal. But I give him $9,000 down at close, and that was his equity, and then taking over his payments and cleaning up his arrears, which were not that much money in arrears. It was only, I think, 3 months worth of payments. So, but at times like that, if he wasn't as distressed as that, he could have probably asked for a price. But since he was distressed, he was just like, I need help kind of thing. You get it?
Hey, Carlos,
What up?
question: Why give him so much? As far as I know that you said that was looking to help him out, but most people that especially when it's any money to seller, especially in the situation that he was in, they typically say like $1,000 to $2,000. Is sufficient for somebody in a situation like that. So why did you give him about $9,000? And how did that work out with your deal in general?
Yeah, so realistically, yeah, every business, you want to minimize your expenses and maximize your profits. This guy's in a pickle, right? They're not in the best spot. It was an inexpensive deal for me. It was $79,000 sub 2. I'm giving them 9,000 at close, 89,000. We're making like 60,000 on the deal. There was enough spread in there. There was enough spread in there. He needed the deal. I think the negotiation was, I want to try to sell to somebody else if I can't get the money down, because I need some money to at least move. I'm broke, this and that. So I think that also was a reason why I made it like, okay, well, he needs help, and he is gonna probably go and try to do this somewhere else. So I'm also gonna help him out and just say yes to him, because there's enough money in there to eat, and it was an inexpensive purchase. So that one was a big lesson to me. I learned how to do wraps and then exit the notes on that one. That was when I learned that strategy, and when I learned I could do that on a home that was only 80,000 and we can make that much money on it. I can imagine if I find great deals, which I have. I found another deal. It was a sweet deal. I got it for 80,000. The ARV is 220. 220, and when you wrap it, you can sell it for $10,000 to $20,000 more. Right. That's a home run for a wrap for me. I got one of those deals, and so if I got it for 80, and I can sell it up to like $240,000. Now that's a deal right there. 240, and basically there's like $180,000 of profit right there. And then I could discount the profit and sell it to a note buyer and get cashed out within like 2 to 3 months. And I split that with my partner. But you see the potential on that selling the note it's almost like a fix and flip without fixing the house and flipping it. So I go from locking up a deal for 80,000, and I'm probably going to drop like 30,000 and doing some of the renovations. So I'll probably owe 110. I'll probably have I'm gonna have a lender, not probably. I'm gonna have a lender, and then I'm gonna have to give a return to. So more or less, be conservative after everything. Maybe we could net like 120,000 or something in there, 100,000. I don't know what it is. I'm just being super conservative. But no matter what the number is, I split that, and then a note buyer buys our note out for a discount. So we're cashed out like a cash buyer, right? We're cashed out, and I now have, I don't know, $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 my share on a deal. And I didn't actually fix and flip the house. I just sold the note. But I got such a good deal on it is why and plus I was the one who negotiated the deal. I got the sweet deal on that one. But I'm excited for that one, because that one will actually be the first property that will be like a large note flip for my partner and I. Not for my partner, but at least for me, because my half is going to be nice. And I know that I'm going to buy a lot of shit with it, or probably just throw it back into my business. But that's just one little deal that I bought for 80,000. And it was a steal for me, 220. What happens when you get to negotiate and you don't have to go in and start shooting those numbers at first? Everybody's like, oh, I'm shooting at 85%. They start throwing these numbers when it's really good to just talk, find the reason why. You find out that, find the timeline, condition, you roll into the price. You want them to tell you the price. And then you start asking, it's just really asking questions. You can even, sometimes you overshoot and you'll pay more than some people were willing to accept, and you never know. And that's why I never like to give the price up front. There are times I do, right? And when I do, I'm gonna lowball. I'm gonna lowball you. Lately now, lately right now, because of the market, you guys know I'm a transparent person. I let them know, hey, I used to be a bold person a few months ago, but the market's coming down. No way I'm gonna do that. So whatever the ARV is, I'm buying them at 70% minus repair value or minus repairs. I did that earlier today with somebody, and like the number was like I think $10,000 off from the number they were asking for. Like we came to agreements with, and so I told them, look, I did the 70% of the ARV on here and minus repairs, and I'm right here at 300. You're at 315. We're not far, but I'm not going to go to your 315 because I know this works for me. Mm. And so we just didn't come to an agreement, but I just told her I'll think about it. They want to sell it, but I just told her I'm not going up there because I'm not being so bold anymore. I'm still buying, but if you want to sell it to me, it's my criteria.
All right,
that's where I'm at on that one.
Makes sense. And that deal was creative or just regular cash?
Nah, creative. I work all creative deals. Yeah, I mean I do work some cash deals, but it was creative.
Got it.
All right, so who wants to role play first?
I'll give it a go, bro.
All right, cool. So who's available to be a seller?
I'll go.
All right, Miss Ronnie. All right,
Take
cool.
it easy
So
on me.
you guys, if you guys have anything that you guys want to say in the side chat as well to help out, that's cool. You can throw things in the side chat. I'm gonna try to help him out too if he needs it. And I'm gonna put myself on mute when you guys are ready to rock and roll. ARV 300,000. If you needed to use bed and bath count, it's 3 bed, 2 bath, with 1,500 square feet. And you guys just use your regular names. You can call her Miss Ronnie, Chris, whatever. And you guys are good to go. I'm going on mute.
All right. Ring, I guess.
Hello?
Hey, Ronnie.
Yes. Who's this?
Hey, how you doing? My name is Chris. I'm a local investor in the area, and I was calling about your property. I was seeing if you was interested in selling, excuse me.
Which property? I have multiple.
123 Main Street.
Okay. What about it?
So I was looking to purchase some properties, and I seen this property. I came across it, and I was interested. Are you interested in selling?
How did you get my number?
We have a system that we use to get properties like this. So basically, I looked up your number, and here I am calling and looking to see if you was interested in selling. We typically buy about 2 to 4 properties a month, and we're interested in yours. Are you interested in selling?
Possibly. I've been kind of kicking it around here and there.
Okay, awesome. So question, can you tell me a little bit about the property? What condition is it in?
It's bad. It needs a lot of work. The tenants is horrible, so I'm trying to foreclose on them, and it's trashed.
Okay, no worries. We typically take care of anything that renovations and things of that nature. So when you say it's trash, can you be a little bit more specific? So what's going on with the plumbing, HVAC system? Can you tell me a little bit about the roof? Can you explain that?
Well, the outer is not bad. Like the roof is pretty good and the structure is pretty good. It's inside. Like the toilet, they video on TikTok where they're, just acting stupid. And so the flooring probably needs to be done. I probably need the bathrooms probably need to be updated. And I think it has electrical problems. So the only major one is the roof that's probably okay. Everything else probably needs to be updated.
Okay, and when you say the roof, when was the last time you repaired the roof?
I'll probably say about 8 years ago.
Okay, awesome. And so you haven't done any a renovation in the past 3 years, have you?
No, I've been trying to get them out. I'm a slumlord.
Okay, awesome. And as far as the tenants goes, is this a month to month or a
Lease.
annual a lease? Okay,
Yeah, I have 6 more months and I can get them out.
so you have 6 more months.
Hmm.
Okay. So now question. As far as the I got stuck. um,
Look at chat. Look at the chat.
yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking.
The chat. And so just in the chat, I'll just say like little quick things. It's your job to like build the story before and after everything. But like right here in the scenario, she's on foreclosure, right? It's time to dig into
Yeah.
paint, right? So, hey, how much were they paying when they were paying? How much were you receiving? 2,100. How long have they not been paying you? Oh, it's been 10 months. 21 times 10. Okay, $21,000. Do you still have a mortgage on this? Yeah, how much is that? What do you pay? Okay, so you're actually bleeding out. You're paying for somebody else to live in it. So you start digging up and you're painting the picture of how painful it really is. Hey, do you think this is ever going to get better? Would you try to rent it out again, or do you think this is it for you because of this situation? Right, a lot of those questions right there is going to dig up so much pain and make them think, wow, I don't want to go through this. And then when you're ready to go to the next step, right, you found the condition, you found out she has 6 months on a lease, right? She said she's going to foreclose on them. You could ask, when is she trying to foreclose? Have you tried evicting them? See what time they're going to get out, because in 6 months time, things can change, prices can change, times can change. Usually when things are months away, I try to follow back up with them. But in scenarios, I guess you can lock up the contract contingent to price. You can lock up the contract, I guess, at a certain price, basically close on it contingent to the market, whatever the value is going to be on that house. If it is basically appraised at the same price you locked it up, that cool. If not, if it goes down, then you have to get a discount on it. But typically, you don't want to try to lock it up and you have 6 months before, you have 6 months before you get these people out. You'd rather you lock it up, but instead of close on it, let them go ahead and do all the hard work. Let them evict. Let them do the foreclosure. Because what happens is more experienced people can do that. You're going to go ahead and have a headache and have to bleed out on the property and maybe a lawsuit. You don't have to deal with that. I don't think beginners want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. Even as an expert, I wouldn't want to fucking deal with that unless it's a sweet deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get an amen for never lag. Finally, bro. Amen.
Hey, Carlos, my boy Mike, I just had him come through. It's my homie. You feel me? From like long time. Known him for like 10, 11 years. You feel me? Got him in this thing. He's about to try to learn from us too. And he's a little bit interested in it. So I have him in here now. I got one out of the three. He's gonna just take a little look.
Nice. What's up, Mike? Welcome, bro.
How you guys doing?
We're good, man. How about yourself?
Not bad, not bad. Just trying to relax today.
Cool, man. So you kind of interested in getting into this game or what?
Yeah, my boy. He's I definitely feel the passion from what he has to say about it, and it got me interested. So why not?
Yeah, he's a good storyteller, man. When you have a good storyteller and somebody who's passionate, bro, you can close people on your stories. That's why I think communication and learning to be a closer is very vital, because as a visionary, somebody who envisions themselves going somewhere in the distance, they have to be able to sell the story along it. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. You guys believe me a lot more because I also talk the talk besides walk it. I also sell the vision with what's going on here. And then not only do I back it up, but because of that, you guys believe in it, right? And to me, I believed that a while ago, but that's just the way it goes for some people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Well, welcome, bro. This is going to be fun. Shane's in here. He participates a lot. We're all in here just trying to improve. There's a lot of us that are brand new. A lot of us are less than 6 months in the game. So some of us are a lot more seasoned, but we're all here to learn. What we do Monday through Thursdays, it's typically we do some role play so we can improve on how to close in wholesaling and or creative finance. Then
Okay.
on Fridays we do multifamily, so you'll learn basically how to start underwriting, how to look at a deal, how to put the numbers on a calculator, and start to
Okay.
understand what terminology that you need to know, so then you can understand what we're talking about. You will probably get a little bit confused. There's some terminology right
Of
here.
course.
Yeah, there's some terminology right here that you probably just don't know right off the bat. So you'll start to catch the lingo here soon. And then
Okay.
we're starting to bring some educational guests on Saturday. So
I
we're trying to
definitely
make
have
it
my
really
pen and
impactful.
notepad open. I'll have things to write notes on and everything. So I'll be keeping the ear open.
Cool.
Boy, always down for the cause.
Oh, of course, man. Of course. You knew who to hit up with this, of course.
Yeah, man. Look, if
Absolutely.
you have a good attitude towards it, bro, this will be easy. Man, as long as you
Okay.
see the glass is half full and you're just humble and willing to learn every day, this shit will be
Mhm.
easy.
Okay. Sounds
Hey,
good.
Los,
What's up,
I
yo?
got a question for you. So, we talked about this before, but I have a connection in Cabo. They
Okay.
have two fully furnished units. I think they're 3-2, about 1,100 square feet. And trying to sell them for 60K, but I want to Airbnb it. And I know you got a couple of Airbnbs out there. I'm not gonna get into I don't want to get into it too much right now, but I just wanted you to kind of think about that. And then hit me up when you got some time later. I gotta get off. But kudos to everybody. Rose is the man. And like if you want to learn, like I learned so much from him in like just 2 months, just coming in here like brand new, not knowing anything in real estate. And so this is time, like I always was scared to do the buyer and seller. That Lowe's had a good point. Like you mess up here so that when you get out on your own, you're making fun, because I already made like tons of mistakes already. People like totally cuss me out and Lowe's like, well, you probably shouldn't have said that, which not knowing, right, that, there's certain things you don't want to say or do, but that's just learning. But take the opportunity because you're going to learn so much. He gives you so much value that it's like over the top right now. But thanks, Los. I just want to say thanks. I gotta get off, but just think about the two I can get. One, I
Okay.
was thinking about just getting one, but because it's in Cabo and I don't see a lot of people doing in that area, but I know it's a good seller. Like everybody's going to Cabo, and I know it's
I
like,
was in Cabo last year. It was
oh,
it was
okay.
it was a cool
So
time. Loved it.
you're just gonna say that, okay?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. Yeah. But I'm interested, I love their downtown strip, and I was interested in doing business out there. And so
Yeah,
I'm definitely down to look at it, and I'm really, really appreciate all the nice, humbling comments that you just gave. So thank you so much.
thanks. All right, guys. All right, I'll
Take
hit you
care.
up later, Los. Thanks.
Cool. No problem.
Hey, Carlos, it's Gabe. Sorry, my internet went off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. So just regarding that lead I was telling you, should I just call the guy back tomorrow and just tell him straight up, I would love to help you out, but it's me and my partner can't have you stay in there if we take it over? Is like I should be like straight up?
Yeah, and your whole goal should always be transparent. There's no reason to lie, right? And
Uh-huh.
the more transparent you are, the more that you can maneuver through it quickly, because there's no like fluff. There's no hiding anything. The whole goal is to be transparent so they understand what's going on here. I would tell them, look, it's just there's no reason for me to purchase it. It's gonna be a headache, it's gonna cost money. I'd rather purchase this, but contingent to it becoming vacant. So I don't mind doing the deal with you. I just will buy it once it's vacant, and just basically whatever other little things you need to add. But yeah, I would be very transparent with them. You don't want to buy it with the tenant who hasn't been paying.
Uh-huh. So I should just be straight up and tell him. I mean, a deal like this is probably only I could do if it's sub 2, no? Because it's worth like 130 and he owes like 118. So it's not like a wholesale deal, is it?
No, it's not a wholesale deal. No, it would be a creative finance deal.
Well, I mean, he claims to me that he's having a hard time to pay off his mortgages because the bank's playing games with him. Is he just bluffing me, you think? Because I'm
Yeah,
afraid I'm gonna
yeah,
get
because
inside the problem.
yeah, homeboy, the banks don't play games, bro. They're not like that. They fucking if they're coming to fuck you is because you fucked up. The banks are on point, they are who they are, but they're on our sides for a lot of shit we do in business. For sure, something's just up. Whatever story he's making up, it's not true. because obviously he's in a foreclosure state. So no, I don't agree with this guy. Buyers are liars, right? We're the buyers here, but sellers are worse. Pace always
Right.
says that shit. You'll find out that shit's true.
So how would I go about going to the bank? I'm saying, I've never done something like this before. How would I ask him for his information? Like, what should I try to get out from him if he's workable?
Yeah, so you just ask him what's his mortgage, right? What's his payment to his principal, interest, tax, and insurance. I would ask him what his interest rate is on that.
So he told me, I'm sorry, he told me it's $800 a month, and I think he said it's about 3.6.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I mean,
so you get that information, then you ask him how much does he owe in arrears? How many late payments does he owe? What's the amount that he owes in late payments?
so he told me it's about like it was 5, and then he was paying off, and then the lawyer fees were adding up. They were like literally nailing him, and he said it's up to about 9.
How much?
He said it's about 9. He said the lawyer fees are tremendous. Does that make sense?
9,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So he owes so he has 3 something percent. He pays 800 a month, and he has 5 months of late payments.
Well, he said it's been starting for a year. He's been paying, and it's just been building up and building up. So he told me sometimes he pays $1,200 to catch up, and then he said the interest that they were charging him and the lawyer fees is what was killing him.
Well, if he was paying $1,200 on the initial check, he was gonna pay interest on it. What he should do is pay the $800 one time, so it's amortized, so it pays the interest, and then send a second check for the principal only. That's the way that helps him weigh down the principal quicker. Yeah, but so if it's only like, even if it's like 8 months, right? Let's say if he's late for 8 months, that's what $800 times 8. That's what $6,400, and then $9,000. That's $15,000.
Right.
If the deal can cash flow, let's say his payment is $800, but the rental rate's like $1,800. I mean, that's a deal that can still make sense, even paying his $4,000 in arrears or his whatever it is, that's $6,400 in arrears, and even if his fees are like $8 or $9,000 to those lawyers, if it all makes sense, it could be worth it.
Well, I did rent. I just did a quick look, and it seems like the rents are about $1,100 in the area, not 18.
Not 18, yeah. I guess here we can take a look at that. Let's take a look at it in a little bit, so we can actually analyze it and
sure.
Jump in. We'll comp it and everything, and we'll figure out the right comp, see if 140 is correct or not, and we'll see. We'll start strategizing on it if it makes sense or not. The only way, if he owes that much and then there's not a large spread, just holding it for a longer term would work for like a rental. Long-term rental would be like the best bet. Maybe even a wrap. So we'll get to it.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
Cool. Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
I feel like we should get you back to role playing with Ronnie, and then basically just touching up a little bit on the foreclosure part, right? The pain. Ask her how long have they been missing payments or not been paying? What were they paying you when they were paying? Do you have a mortgage? And if you do, what's the payment to that and the interest rate? And then when you find out what her payment is to the mortgage, if she has one, right, then you can times that number by the amount of months that they haven't paid. So then you can bring up the absolute number. Hey, this is the amount of money you've lost on this, haven't you? I like to bring it up. Yeah.
How long have you been missing payments? And you said, what were the other ones?
Oh, how long have you been missing payment? How long have they been missing payments for? And I would ask them, how much were you receiving from them when they were paying? Do you have a mortgage? If so, what's the payment to the principal and interest on the taxes and insurance? And so when you find out that payment, and you find out the amount of months that they've missed, you just multiply that number together, those numbers together, and present that number to her. Wow, so you've been losing this much money. That's not fair, right? Paint the picture with them. Man, that sucks ass, bro. Whatever you want to say to them, that's crappy. I say it all the time when I get people. I'm like, man, that's super unfair, dude. I would be so sour right now if I was you. I am so fucking sour. I know, right? For real, for real. You bring it, and they get pissed, man. Why? Do you think this is ever gonna get any better? What do you mean? Like, are you gonna rent this out again, or do you think this is gonna happen again? Right? You start fucking scaring them. You start even, bringing it up. Oh shit, I don't want to have to do this again. I'm not a real investor. I only have one home. That shit hurt me. I bled out my whole bank account because of that one property. Wow, that would have sucked right there, right? Boom. That can make somebody not want to be this investor anymore, landlord anymore.
Yeah, I believe they call that the fear of loss.
Yeah, shit. This is a scary thing, bro. It is a scary thing.
All right, cool.
All right, Chris. So,
Wait, hi guys. Hi
what's
Carlos. Hi Sean.
Sam was waiting for you to come in here, man. He said, "What up?"
What's up, G? Where you been?
Working.
Glad
you
here. Cool. So, Chris, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
All right, cool. Remember the side chat will be open. I'll be just sending you some tips while you're negotiating. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'm going back on mute.
So Ronnie.
Yes.
Hey, so you mentioned that you had tenants and
they're horrible. They're horrible. I just want to foreclose. I just want to get rid of this property because they're just bad tenants.
I totally understand. So let me ask you this: how long has it been since they've been missing these payments?
It's up and down. I mean, 1 minute they'll be behind, and then due to the stimulus pandemic, they got their stimulus, so they were able to catch up. But then it's just been a mess. They're up and down. Right now, they're current, but I am just so over them that I just want to foreclose on the property just to get rid of the property and them.
So now they're current. So which means that they made the back payments that they owed you.
Yeah, but I believe they're going to be late this coming month in September. I'm 100% sure they're going to be late. And they pay roughly $1,100 a month to me.
Okay. Man, I totally get it. I can't imagine how nerve-wracking that can be. Every month where you expecting some money, and for whatever reason it's not coming up, and you got other things and other expenses that you got to take care of. So I'm sure that makes you feel like bugged out, kind of crazy. So now you say that you're looking to possibly you want to foreclose on them or what have you. So do you have a mortgage, or are you seller financing to the tenants?
Well, it used to be my primary home, and then I left, got married and had so we moved to another house. And so I just decided, listening to a YouTube video, to sell, or I don't know who I listened to, and I regret it, and just decided to lease it out to keep it as, tax purposes and things like that. So no, they're actual tenants. And yes, I do have a mortgage on it, but it's very little because it used to be my primary, so I'm almost done with paying it off. So right now, it's just tenant occupied. It's not seller finance to them.
Okay, I got you. So what would you do if they started missing payments again? Like what are your goals with this whole situation?
Oh, I don't know, because it seemed like every time somebody comes around, it's just they know the system, so it's very hard to evict them. And then I don't know why I even renewed their lease, and it's just been a mess. And then with the moratorium with the pandemic, I wasn't able to evict them, so they were able to stay. It's just been just a mess. So my goal is that in 6 months I mean, to just tell them that I'm not going to lease to them again. But the house is so tore up, I can't afford to rehab it.
Right. Now, do you? So it sounds like you don't like being a landlord. Is that correct? Am I in the right ballpark with that?
Yeah, it sucks. It's shitty. It just sucks.
Now, I know that you said it sucks, but now, do you like receiving monthly checks? Did you like that part of it?
Yeah, when it's on time. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Got you. So, what if I was able to allow you to be able to still receive those monthly checks, but you wouldn't have the responsibility of being a landlord?
Okay. That's yeah, that would be awesome. What are you talking about?
So we have a program that where we basically you would become the bank and we would basically pay you a certain amount of money every month. Uh, Let me ask you this first. When would you like to sell a property?
Now, yesterday, last week, last month, last year. I
Got you,
just want to get rid of it.
got you. And what price are you looking at right now?
Well, I went on Zillow and they said the property is worth 300,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would say, but by it needing so much work, I'm thinking that amount, that 300,000 is, I don't know how Zillow works. So I don't know if this 300,000 is as is or is it fixed. I mean, I don't know what that number means.
Got you. So typically with Zillow, it's actually the retail price that they try to find a ballpark within, as far as they call it after repair value, meaning that once the property is fixed up and it's updated to 2022 standards, that's typically what the price the home will sell for. Now, obviously, we've had a conversation where you said that your house is kind of trashed inside. So, being that that's your case, what would you think that you would be a fair offer for you?
Just to get rid of it, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, because I really don't know like what it costs. I haven't done no type of estimate or haven't gotten a estimate from like an electrician or a plumber. And I have not even been in the house because the tenants are, it's just horrible dealing with them and things like that. So I really don't know how to even get in the house. I don't even know what the damage is actually. So it's hard for me to say a number to you because I don't know if it needs $50,000 worth of work, 30,000 worth of work. So I don't know. So if that's the case, I guess what, 250? Because I'm
250.
subtracting the what I think the rehab could cost minus what you told me Zillow is, right? Is that
Right.
how the calculation would be?
So, you mentioned 250, and you know, like unfortunately, that price. So typically, as an investor, I buy at a 70 percent value or what have you, and minus the repairs. And honestly, 250 wouldn't work for a cash offer. I'm probably not your buyer.
Mm-hmm.
But as I spoke to you before, being that you like the idea of receiving monthly checks, maybe we can work out some terms where you are still being paid monthly, you're receiving the benefit of the monthly checks, but at the same time, you wouldn't have the liability of dealing with the property and having to improve the property and any fixtures or any tenants. Does that sound like something you're interested in?
Yeah, I would definitely entertain it.
Awesome. So let's talk about how much would it make? So you actually, let me ask you this: how much do you have left on the mortgage? You said, I think you said 40.
Um, I I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's like 80,000.
Okay, 80,000.
Yes.
And how much were you paying monthly?
I pay about 600 a month.
Okay, so 600 a month. Okay, and if you needed to, how much would it? How soon? How long would you? Dang, I got stuck with the term, bro.
What's got you stuck?
My mind literally just went blank.
It's all good. It's all good. So you're getting it in. So very simple. Hey, it's payments over time. Before I used to say it's money down with some interest, payments over time, until I found out you don't always have to give them money down or interest, right? So I just found, yeah, it's pretty simple. It's payments over time. I bring up stories a lot, right? Yeah, I used to be in the car business. Have you ever financed the car before? Yeah. So let's say Wells Fargo picks up the loan, right? Finances you the car. Your name goes on title, right? Yeah, this is gonna be the same scenario. Our name goes on title, but Wells Fargo owns the car. Like, let's say you're Wells Fargo and you own the home, and I just relate that story like that, right? And that's just me, so I can break it down. But you could just be very simple, kind of like when you go to the dealership or to the bank to get a mortgage, and you come out with a agreed purchase price and how much money you're paying per month for X amount of years. You know, very simple. And then as the story builds, we'll be here on the sideline. But continue with the basics. Remember, get everything out. Rule out cash if it doesn't work. Ask her to list it. What's up?
So I went from so her mortgage was 80,000. We all know that the ARV is 3. She said that she was paying monthly payments of $600. So I kind of blanked out from that point.
So you could remember, just like add up the numbers. I know it's a lot of information. It's good that you wrote it down. You're practicing, so it's part of the practice. Just try to pick yourself up from where you are, and remember that you want to try to paint the picture. This is what I do now. Everybody has to do it, but I always like to add up how much they were paying out of pocket for somebody else who was supposed to pay in their house and isn't. You know, so you can paint the pain. You found out the 600 a month.
The thing that she mentioned that they're current now.
Oh yeah, she did say that, huh?
So it's like, how do I?
Yeah, so at that point you just still move. Okay, the current, it's okay then. Then you can use that whole scenario against them. You just still, they want to sell it, right? They know it's beat up. She said foreclosure. Use all that against it still. Don't let one thing slow you down.
And I also said that they will probably be late next month, September.
Right.
Yeah, you can paint that picture.
Okay.
So cash, right? Shoot the cash offer. In your head, really do the numbers, right? If you have your buyers that are buying at 60, 70%, once you hear that you don't know the condition, so now you know it's beat up. So do those true numbers at 70%. When you hear the condition of a property and it's like fairly good, you don't have to offer 70%. I mean, you still can get a good deal, but people can still buy properties at 80 or 85%. There's no work to do to them.
Her property is trash though.
That's right. So now you know that people are being conservative and they're buying at 60 to 70%. So when you're offering and you know her property's trash, you know it needs a full renovation. So it's perfect for you to do those numbers. You think ARV is 300,000, go ahead and run that on your calculator while you're on the phone. And whatever offer she tells you, oh, I want this much for it, tell her you did your numbers and this is where I'm at. I have to be at somewhere like around here and here for this to make sense for me. And then she may say yes or no. If she says no, you can still respond like, okay, for how close to this number can you get to? And you find out she brings herself down a little bit, but not a lot. Then cool, rule yourself out cash. Ask her to list it. And then ask her to keep it when you found out she said she doesn't have any additional money and it's beat up. So when you ask her to keep it and rent it out for herself, you're going to find out she's not going to want to. That's when it becomes perfect for you to pitch creative. What was the rents? They were like $1,400, right?
The rents.
I think I said
Give me one
1,100.
second.
1,100. Yeah, I believe you said 1,100 was the rent.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I just get nervous sometimes.
I know, I do. I get kind of stumped, like, because your mind is kind of you kind of ahead of the game, and you're trying to make sure you answer all the questions, and so your mind kind of like, oh, should I run this road?
Here's one thing too. What's gonna happen on a real conversation on a real seller when you get stuck? Like how would you really just, oh shit, I'm stuck, or would you really just try to go through still? Remember, just if you're stuck, just tell them, you know what? If there's some scenarios you're not gonna know, just let them know you don't know that. Hey, you know what? Actually, I don't know this part. I'll get that. And in a scenario where you don't know, just try to finish it up, right? I'm gonna be here on the sideline, but no matter what, just always try to think or try to practice to pick yourself up when you're stuck. It's a really good habit, because that shit happens. A lot of people when they get stuck, they actually just stop doing it. The real strength is picking yourself up when you make a mistake and continue doing it. It happens all the time.
Okay.
Later. Cool. Let's finish it up. Let's do it. You got this, bro. You got it.
Yeah.
You have to practice it out. You got this.
All right, bro. So where were we?
Yes.
So Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie.
Yeah, I'm here.
So as I mentioned before, right now I know that for a cash offer, let's see where we can come at. So let me just give me a second, all right?
Okay.
So I'm looking at the some numbers here. So again, right now, because of the market and the downturn, actually homes are taking a little bit longer to be fixed and flipped. And as a investor, I have to definitely make sure that I'm buying at a reasonable purchase price, that where I can make profit. Especially the fact that a lot of homes are sitting on the market and a lot of price cuts are happening right now. So, where can you do better? I think you mentioned that you wanted 210 or 250. Sorry, excuse me. You said you wanted 250. So what can you do about that? Is that your best offer price, asking price?
Well, the reason why I just said 250 is because I was just looking at Zillow, but when you broke it down to me and the repair, I know you are taking on such a huge responsibility. After thinking, I'm thinking that what, 200?
200. Okay. Um. So I know that I'm gonna have to deal with the closing costs, holding costs, repairs. Um, there's gonna I may have to pay a realtor at the end of the day. So 200 is can you do a little bit better than that?
Now, when you talk about terms and paying me monthly, how does that look? I mean, will that be that you just pay me monthly up into my, are you, wait a minute, my mortgage? Or you take, I'm confused. Are you taking over my mortgage or my 80,000 debt, or are you just taking over the whole as far as what I want the debt plus if I want, like if I come up down to 150. I mean, I guess I'm a little confused as far as, because of Zillow and then, cash offer, now you're saying terms. How does the terms look again?
So let's first deal with what the terms are. So the same way that you go to a dealership and you basically have a term of how long you'll make payments over a period of time. That's pretty much the same process, but the difference is that you're now going to be the bank or the lender. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. That part makes sense. But what are we terming? Are we terming the 80,000 that I owe to my mortgage? Or are we terming on the amount that you and I agree upon? You understand what I'm saying?
So we would basically be terming all of it.
All of what? I'm confused. All okay. So if I say that's 175 and we both agree at 175, that's what we're terming.
Right. So it would definitely be 175, and that's what would be determined.
Okay.
Make sense so far?
Yeah, it does.
So now it seems like you're pushing towards more of a creative deal. So what terms would you like to come up with? How long would you want to be paid until? What works for you?
I mean, 2 years.
So 2 years. So 2 years probably wouldn't work for me, only because of what's happening currently with the market. Typically, we do a 5-year term, and we would pay you on a third. So yeah, like a 5-year plus term, but it would also be within a 30 year amortization.
Oh, okay. So you really like you. I'm really like the bank, like Bank of America. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't
So
know if I want to go all the way out to 30 years. I mean, the 5 years sound more uh much better to me. Um is I mean, I know you
so
said
what I mean by 5 years, so it would basically be a 5-year term, but it will be a balloon payment at the end. So in other words, you'll finance me. So let's say that we agreed on the 175,
mm-hmm.
right? It would be for and I have to plug these numbers in. So 1 second. So
minus the 80 that you own on a mortgage.
you said what? Oh, so the way this works, it would be a 5-year term, and then I will do a balloon payment at the end to give you the rest of the balance of what is owed.
Okay.
So there's no way I can pay the full amount in payments in 5 years. So I just need to cash flow, right? So 30-year terms, but only make payments for 5 years.
Oh, okay. So we'll write it out for 30 years, but you're saying that it's a high probability that you will cash me out in 5 years.
Right. And the beautiful thing about this whole way of us going about this is that you're protected the whole time. So we have what is called a performance deed, which if we were to default at any given time, once we make the renovations that's needed for the home, and once we it's, let's say that we're collecting and we're in year 2. If we were ever to default, you would have the ability to take this property back without any hassle or anything, no foreclosure or anything like that. You'll be able to take the property back, and you'll start collecting on that payment and that note, and you'll still be the Bank of Ronnie, essentially. Sounds good?
Yeah, yeah, it sounds Yeah, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. So let's set this up. All right. So for 30 years, we have at 175. So so for that, the payment should be around $500. Does that sound promising?
Well, I get that in between now, in between my paying my mortgage and then the rent that I get from my tenant. So yeah, that sounds about what I already get. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. So um
And I would get the full
what I,
500.
so we'll probably rent it out a lot of you, but yes, you would basically get the 500.
Okay.
Okay, so let me get your email. I can send everything over to you as to what it looks like. You can look it over, think about it, and we'll go from there. Sounds good?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a good day.
You too.
Good stuff, bro.
Woo!
All part of the practice, bro. Coming in
Yeah.
here, listening more, really concentrating on stuff. Like I used to jump in a lot of Zooms and on my phone, and it's a lot of dudes, which I limit myself. I learn from myself a lot on the closing. I don't really learn from a lot of other people because I'm not really jumping in other nightly dials or role plays or stuff like that. I taught a lot of myself just from being a closer for a lot of years, getting into sales. But coming in here, you definitely want to, if you're trying to improve, you definitely want to concentrate and listen so that you can just repeat, copy and paste a lot of things. But Chris, you're doing a good job, man. You're not in sub two, right?
Nah.
You're not in sub two, so don't even worry about it, man. You're just getting into hearing people pitch it and whatnot, and also the way that I do things too. Yeah, they're probably a little bit higher level than most people, but it's all good because if you can learn to copy and paste it, you're gonna level up faster, and you're gonna outsurpass people. And I know a lot of good people, and I know a lot of people that make great money, and a lot of them aren't that good on the phones. They just don't, and they don't have to be, right? It's if you want to be your own closer, if you're in a position where you have to be your own closer, right? Like, let's say you're not up like some of these other guys that have money already and they can just pay for somebody to be the closer. That's different. They don't want to be the closer. You don't have to, right? But right here, if you guys have to be everything for your own business because you guys are in a point or in a moment in your life where you can only afford yourself to hire, then you just want to improve, bro. Just want to get up in here, want to get better at everything you do on the closing, and everybody, just because you have to close to be able to feed yourself. If you can't pay for someone to close, JV with them or get better. But like I said, it's a lot better if you can get better on the phone, bro, or in any negotiation phase.
Well, I appreciate you guys for even doing this, man. Once I got, I seen you through Facebook, I was like, yo, there's no way I'm not doing this, bro. And Ronnie, thank you for participating with me. I appreciate everybody in here, for real.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
stuff, bro. So who wants to go up? Who wants to go up as a buyer on the next round?
I'll be the buyer.
That's my boy. Look at him. This guy's bold right here. Look at him. Love it. All right, cool.
Hey, oh, if I can criticize, I got to be able to take it too, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen here. So have some fun. Gio's very new. I know some of you guys think you're new. This guy's really, really, really new. Like a couple weeks, so he's ready
Green
to.
to the bone.
There you go. He's ready to rock out, guys. So this is where we learn, we practice, we fall a little bit. Everybody catches each other. This is where we have fun. Okay, so Gio, you already know. You already know the ARV. We'll figure that out right now. But you already know the ARV. is around
300.
300. Yep. Okay, cool. Who is available to be a seller?
Oh, let me ask you this before they go into role play. The way I set up the numbers, was that correct?
Yeah. Sometimes a number won't make sense. Sometimes they want a little bit more, so you don't have to amortize it right away. Right. A lot of people get stuck. This is where most people get stuck when they don't when you're new to underwriting. You're definitely gonna get stuck because it's like you don't know how to use the calculator, you don't know how the numbers work. I always close all my deals off of approximate numbers, conservative approximate numbers. Hey, well, how much money are you gonna give me down, Carlos? That just depends, right? How much money are you looking down for? You find out asking for a shitload, renegotiate it, right? Okay, cool. Typically, I don't do that when I'm paying that high for X amount of reasons. Well, how much money are you expecting to pay me per month, Carlos? Well, what's the maximum I can get for market rent right now? It's $2,000. Okay, and then you said your mortgage payment was 800. Yeah, okay, so there's $1,200 profit left, right? Yeah, there is. Okay, remember how I just said I have to make some money. I just got to be able to eat. For me to pay you the price you're asking that nobody else is paying cash for, you just got to give me the term, the cash flow. I give you your price. You give me a term instead of just saying you give me my term, so they don't get all offended. I give you your price, but you give me a term that allows me to cash flow positive, right? And then when you have that much flow, I'll just say, yeah, typically I want $500 or $600 in there, $400 to $600 in there, because that's a good deal. If you go ahead and ask them, maybe you could even get, if you ask them, what were you thinking of splitting that? What were you thinking? Maybe they're willing to give you 50-50, So that's how I get into it. I don't try to shoot it. I don't try to shoot it first. I always tell them, I don't know, you tell me, you just got to know that I got to make some money in here. Otherwise it doesn't make sense for me. What do you want? Carlos, I'll take another $400 a month on that. Oh shit. So what if now they're giving me an additional 200 that I was expecting to make? Right. That's why I always just like doing I do all the questions. I fact find, ask a lot of questions. They ask how much do you want to pay? That depends. Let's talk about the condition. You find out they're on pre-foreclosure. Now I talk about the pain. They're trying to sell it with the a tenant in there. Talk about the pain. You don't want to do that. And that's the truth. Nobody really, there's not many buyers out there that really want to go and buy it with a tenant that's not performing. A lot of people don't want to buy it with current tenants because they want to put the value add into the house, renovate it, and then mark up the rents, right? So imagine trying to sell a house that they're not even paying in there. They're locked in, especially imagine like in California or like, I think New Jersey is the same like as us, where they're tenant-friendly states. And you're making a bad mistake. That's not a beginner move. That's more of an experienced move. Cool. So who is going to be the seller?
I'll be the seller.
All right. So you guys know the game. $300,000 ARV, 3-bed, 2-bath. I'm gonna put myself on mute. Joe, when ready to rock and roll, you just ring. Michael is who you're using. Or
Michael?
Yeah, Michael is your seller.
All right.
Go for it.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing there, Michael?
I'm doing good. Who's this?
This is Giles. I'm with G-Man Financing, and I'm in the market of buying properties. And
Okay.
I saw that through advertising there that you had a house for sale there on 123 Main Street.
I do,
Is that
yeah.
correct?
Yep, that's mine.
All right. And you got first of all, what's your reason for selling?
Well, I actually inherited the property. My parents just passed away, and I inherited it. And
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, I appreciate it. It's okay. And it's just not something that I want to carry right now.
All right, I can understand that. Yeah, I relate to that as well. Same thing happened to me. And just by curiosity, what are you asking for the property?
I'd like to be close to like 280 probably.
Okay, 280. All right, then can you tell me about the condition of the property? Outside first.
Outside, it's in decent condition. It's a little tired. It's a little tired. My parents were a little older, so they couldn't keep up too well. But
Okay, so would you say it probably needs a little bit of painting outside?
yeah, it could use some painting.
Okay, how's the air conditioning?
Air conditioning is
First of all,
probably
is it central or is it window units?
it's central.
It's central? Okay,
Yeah,
when was the last time that was replaced?
it's probably been about 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
how about the roof? What's the condition of the roof? How long has that been replaced?
Roof is okay. It was put on there probably about 10 years ago.
10 years ago? Okay.
Yeah.
And how about the inside? What can you tell me about the inside?
Um, it's clean, but it's closer to original condition.
Okay, so would you say it probably needs a flooring update and maybe some paint?
Yeah, I mean it's clean enough if someone wanted to move right in, I think it would be okay,
Okay.
but there's definitely things you could probably touch up a little here and there.
What year is the property?
Oh, this is a 73.
73? Okay, so the electrical, has it everything been updated? Is it up to 22 standards?
Ooh,
2022?
yeah, I don't think it would be up to date. I don't know when last that was touched.
Okay, the appliances and all that, what was the last time that was replaced?
They've been in there for a while.
You've been in there for a while?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and how did you come up with that number for 280?
Well, I saw a house down the street that just sold for a little bit more than that, so I figured I'd go a little under and see what I could get.
Okay, do you know the condition about that house?
It was a newer house. It looked pretty nice from the outside, but I didn't look inside or anything.
Okay. All right, so you're looking to sell, you're looking around 280, that's your approximate estimate now. If I was to be able to give you a cash offer, considering what I need to do to put it up to standard, so I can resell it or rent it out, what would be your best offer?
You did cash?
We could possibly do cash, depends on the numbers.
I mean, I might go down to 250. I mean, I know it probably
250?
needs a bit of work, so I get that they got some expenses there for it.
Yeah, 250 is not a number that's gonna work for me, so I can cash flow, especially with the remodelings I gotta do. And you said the roof is about 10 years old. I'm gonna have to put 40 to 50 grand into the roof. And what's the square footage on the house?
It's around 1,500.
And the 1,500. Okay, quick calculation. All right, so for me to cash flow, I'm gonna have to come out a little bit low on the numbers. So can you do better than that? So I can remodel it and make some money and I can make you happy?
Well, what are you thinking?
Well, with the remodeling and all that, you said 250. I'm looking at closer to maybe 165. So that we can both make some money.
Okay.
That's something that you would be comfortable with.
Well, if it was free and clear, I would, but my parents, they decided to refinance and they still owe a mortgage that's a bit above that because they knew they were on their way out and they wanted to give a gift to the grandkids.
Okay, what's the mortgage on it?
It's closer to like 190.
190 is the mortgage. What's the payments on it?
It's about 700.
700. Okay. All right. What is another way I can go about this? Since I can't really come up with the cash to get to those numbers, but have you ever heard about seller finance?
No, I haven't.
Okay, self finance. Let me get something that's relative to it. You ever bought a car?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it'll be the same principle. When you buy a car, you actually owe the bank, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so when you owe the bank, but you still own the car, if there's any repair or anything like that, you're the one that's responsible for it, not the car, not the bank.
Right.
Right. And if you default on the payment, the bank's going to repossess your car.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so it would be the exact same principle. Are you following me?
I think I'm following along with what you're saying.
So basically, I would give you a down payment just like you would for a car. If a down payment that we would agree on, and then take over the payment and take over the mortgage. And
Gotcha.
you'd be free and
Okay.
clear.
I see. Okay. So you would take over the mortgage payment that they had on there.
Correct.
Okay. And then you're saying you would give me a monthly payment to meet that number I
That
was
is
looking
correct.
for?
Yeah, that would be correct.
Okay.
Is that something that would work for you?
I'm interested in entertaining that.
Okay. So what I can do is I can give you a down payment that you're comfortable with and that I'm comfortable with. Make sure that I I cover the mortgage payment, and then give you a payment on terms.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Pardon me? That you still comfortable with that? Is it something you can make arrangements on?
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. What kind of down payment would you want to put down?
Well, what is the numbers that you would be feeling comfortable with?
Oh, let's see. I'd probably want about 30 down.
Okay, 30 down is going to be a little too much for me. I might be able to bring a partner in, but I was looking closer to 5 down and then take over the mortgage and then make the payments to you over just to say about, it'll be a 30-year term, but we'll do a balloon payment over 5 years.
Okay.
If it's something
Okay.
that you're comfortable with, I mean, I'll give you $5,000 down, $5,000 down. Okay, and then I'll give you, I don't know, let's just say $300 a month. Okay, and then within 5 years, I will balloon out the payment, give you the rest of the balance.
Okay. Okay.
Is that something that you're good with?
Yeah, I would be comfortable with a balloon payment.
All right, well, that's cool. So let me write up a contract with you, and let me get your email so I can send that information over to you, and then we can proceed.
Okay. I just had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like the balloon payment, but I would want to be a little higher on the down payment. I'd want to be, I mean, ideally 30, but I could go down to 15 if that's still.
Okay, well, if I bring a partner in, I might be a little bit closer to 10. Is something that can work for you?
Yeah, I think 10 would work for now. Yeah.
All right, super. So
how much would I be getting a month from you?
like I said earlier, you probably get about including the mortgage and that, so I can cash flow. I'll give you $300 a month.
Call it 400 and we'd be good.
400, okay. Hey, by chance, do you know what the rent goes there in your area?
In this area, it's going for about $2,000.
$2,000?
Yeah.
All right. So just send me your email. I'll write up a contract for 400.
Okay.
I can do that. I'll write up a contract for 400, and then we'll take over, and then we'll finalize everything for you.
Okay, sure. I'll send you my email. Is this your cell?
Yeah, that's my cell. Yeah.
All right. I'll send it over now.
All right, great. Pleasure doing business with you, sir.
All right. Talk to
Have
you
a good
soon.
evening. Thank you.
Bro, that was Fucking magnificent for your first time ever. You sounded super seasoned, man.
Yeah,
Thank you,
he
thank you,
did.
thank you.
Yeah. I could
I was-
boast. You sound like me on my first phone call. So I
I was-
closed my first deal on my first phone call. I knew
Yeah,
he
I
was very
was-
minimal, but I knew how to talk. Like Jill got it. Oh, as you see how he's a little bit more concentrated on all the Zooms. How he was in a lot of the Zooms, like a lot of you guys were, but verbatim, he was able to remember a lot of the shit word for word. I was even putting stuff in the side chat, but he wasn't even using it. He was using his own thing. I even offered him a higher number, I think 180, and he shot 165. That's the way to go. The way he's doing it is correct. Shit was good shit, bro. Very good job.
I was trying to think of objections and stuff too, but I just the confidence in his voice too. It's kind of like, oh, like he's confident about it, why not?
Yeah. Remember, you guys don't be nervous so much. Just know what your game plan is before going in, and don't go away from your game plan. Don't like misguide yourself. If you guys have buyers, if you guys are just looking to wholesale, who pays you, the seller or the buyer? The buyer, right? So whose buy criteria should you know? The buyer, okay? Because they're the one paying you. So if a buyer is telling you, I'm paying 70, I'm paying 75, you're in a market where you have buyers paying 70, 75, cool. So then you know that your max is 75% of ARV minus repair, and then add your fee in there. There's no reason for you to fucking lock it up at 77% or 80% unless you already talked to your buyer and said, hey, more or less 75, I get to like 77, more or less, would you buy it? He says no. You don't got a deal for nobody unless you find a buyer in that area that's going to buy it. So you shoot the real number. You shoot the real numbers. Okay, so 300,000, 70% of that was like 210 minus your repairs. There's 30, 40, 50 grand in there. You minus that and you add your fee inside of there. And that's the offer that you need to give. No reason to offer something else. The whole name of the game is to even rule yourself out as the buyer. You don't want to waste your time. Don't be one of those wholesalers that people talk shit about. I've seen it multiple times. There are a lot of times where wholesalers bring me deals, and I know that after time, you don't really even fuck with the people who send you the deals. They'll send you deals over and over, and after time, you find out that they're shitty deals, and that's just that type of person who's locking up deals like that, and every time they're the same, and you just never really open them up. They go to the spam, right? That's what happens. You unsubscribe. For real, no, it makes no sense for you to investors want some meat on the bone to eat. Everybody got to eat. I was trying to buy a deal from a wholesaler who learned a little bit about creative financing, and the deal was a good deal. He thought because it was such a good deal that I can pay him $100,000 assignment fee on a $400,000 purchase price. I was like, what? And I was like, you got a good deal, but you're asking 100 grand assignment fee. And let me explain how it won't work. Because I got to pay 100 grand. And now I have a payment to that shit. And I started breaking it up. And no, this is a great deal. I'm like, oh boy, I don't want it. See you later. I'm not even going to sit here and argue. I already argued with a couple of sub 2 students, and I don't even like to argue. That's not who I am. It's just that that's why you have a buy criteria. And I tell them, just go back to my buy criteria, man. I'll look at other stuff, but don't push stuff on me. And also look at my buy criteria. That's what I want to look at. I had a couple people send me some shit that didn't fit it. I went on the Zoom with them and I told them I told them this doesn't work. They asked me what would work. I said, okay, well, this would work for me. They went and tried to negotiate. I had a couple people do this. And they went back trying to renegotiate. It couldn't happen. They told me you should sell it. You should still buy it because it's available. And I said, it just doesn't fit my needs. And they started talking about how much money I was going to make in the deal. Don't be stingy, yada, yada. I'm like, maybe stingy? What? I was like, what's going on? What are you talking about? And I can tell they're getting upset because I'm just telling them, okay, well, where's the entry fees? Where's everything at? It's right here. Here's the number. I'm like, almost everybody does the same thing. They get the money down to the seller and money down to them. And they don't even like to be transparent and tell you exactly how much they want, right? And so then when you come to actually looking at the deal and then you find out, oh shit, it needs renovation like 30, 40 grand. You didn't know that was an entry fee. Now it is there. Oh, the closing costs. Okay. it's going to take me 3 months to renovate it. So I need 3 months of holding costs. How much are the payments? $2,500. Okay. So I need $7,500 holding. You find out, oh shit, you have 50, 60 grand more than entry fee was when they presented it to you. Now it's not a deal. Work off your buyers. Let's rock it out. Scragging, you guys have any questions? You guys want me to do a role play or you want me to do some live calls? I don't mind role playing. I love role playing. I can do my live calls.
Whatever.
What's cracking, Tim? How you doing? Oscar, Dustin, Nakisha, Jonathan, what's cracking, you guys?
Anybody wants to role play? I'll be a buyer again.
Let's do this. Let's. Does anybody have any leads they want to call? We start calling up some leads.
I got a lead.
Who said it? Oh, you did? The sale. You said it?
Yeah.
Right
now.
You qualify the lead?
It was given to me. Excuse me. It was given to me by another brother. Okay. He said he just did an article about it.
What's up?
Hold on. Let me take the
All right, let's see what I got. You said you got a lead though, so I can call these leads. These leads. All right. Yo, Sal, you got that lead ready? Yes, sir. All right, drop.
Getting it right now.
All right, cool. I'll call up a lead right now. In the meantime.
Yeah, I sent that already.
925-640-1432. All right, cool. Oh, and have this. Here we go. Screen share. Here we go. And make this call. Fuck, how do I say this name?
Oops, we couldn't dial this number.
Pinnakin. 640-1432.
Disconnect the ongoing call first to make this call. Goodbye. Please disconnect the ongoing.
All right, well, that fucking number doesn't work. I don't know. Do. You guys have any questions? That's what I'll do. So we don't. So I'll give you guys some more value. Let's do a role play. And I'll be the buyer. What's this right here, Dustin? You got something? Is this Dustin? No, it's Yoseo. I always see Dustin dropping shit like this in here. Let's see. Oh, okay. He already signed the contract. Let's just wait for it. I don't feel like negotiating the deal if he already has something locked up. Let's work the. I would hit him up and just see when when the close of escrow is and see if we can follow back up with him. What do you guys think? Would you guys in a scenario like this, when you see a deal that just got locked up, would you guys take time to still work it or not? I'm just genuine question. You guys came across somebody that said, I just locked it up, but give me your offer. Would you guys put in your offer, or would you just follow up after the close? You just type it in the chat. Or either or. You can say it, Sam, if you're up, but I was just curious to see.
Hey, I'd follow up.
Okay.
Me personally.
Cool. Yeah,
I'd follow up. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, more of a follow up. Let me do this. So I'll be a buyer and just somebody who wants to give me a scenario where we'll do this on creative financing, whichever way you guys have, whatever story you guys have, bring it up, and then we'll overcome it and we'll go for the close, okay? And in this scenario too, just try to, however I respond to whatever question I'm asked, and just basically fucking copy and paste that shit when you get into the same scenario. When you get stuck or you hear a question that you may hear today, just think of the answer that I had said, what my response was, and you can use that to maneuver through it until you find something better. So who's gonna be my seller?
Well, you don't have any volunteers? Okay, I'll volunteer.
You guys are so participating today, right? Thank you guys. All right, Jill, let's rock and roll this, okay?
You got it. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Jill? This is Carlos. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, thanks. How about you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. Hey, the reason why I'm giving you a phone call, I'm taking a quick look at this property. It's 123 ABC Street. And I just wanted to ask you a question and see if you've considered selling it.
Okay. How do you know I had a house for sale?
Actually, I didn't know that it was for sale. Like I didn't see on the MLS. What I do is I look for neighborhoods of properties that I want to purchase in. I just pull a whole bunch of addresses. All the information's public. And so I just start calling a whole bunch of addresses and neighborhoods I want to buy in.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I do have a property for sale. So yeah.
Cool, man. What's got you interested in selling it? I'm bringing it up right now on my laptop so I can take a look at it.
Well, it's interesting you ask. Well, my mother passed away.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Was this her home?
Yeah, that was her house. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. And I guess, have you already inherited the property? It's under your name?
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, well, it's partially under my name.
Got you. Is there like another sibling involved?
There's no sibling involved, but it's still bank owned.
Oh, okay. I totally got you. So is that the main reason why you're selling? Is it was your mom's and maybe you don't live in the area and
Yeah, well, I'm not in the area, and I don't want I don't want to add another mortgage payment to my
Gotcha.
situation.
I don't know. I totally hear you. So, if we were to come to an agreement with you, what type of time frame do you need to sell this property? I know that you don't live there, but not sure if there's a lot of stuff in there that you'd like to take out, and what type of time you need.
No, I already took everything I wanted out of it. It's just sitting vacant right now.
Okay. And so how I work as a business, right? I can't purchase every property that I look at, but I do have intentions. So with that being said, how I purchase properties when I buy them cash, I look to look for a property that needs a little bit of work, so I can put some money into it and flip it for a profit. And then I know why you want to sell your house in the time frame. What I want to get to is what's the current condition of the property? Like I said, I know it wasn't yours, it's your mother's, but what's the current condition of it?
No, correct. The last time I saw it was 2 years ago, and actually I didn't went back to the property, but it was in good condition.
Okay. So good condition is what, like she maintained it very well. Maybe the inside is a little bit dated. Is it up to date?
It may be dated inside, but everything was well maintained.
Got you. So then all the mechanics of the property, like the plumbing and the electrical, all that stuff works well?
Last I heard, everything worked well. Yes.
Okay. And then the roof, does it need to be replaced, or do you know how old it is?
I'm not sure how old the roof is because it wasn't my property, but excuse me, it wasn't
Don't worry.
good. It appeared to be in good condition from what I was able to see.
Okay. So it sounds like the mechanics are good, and it sounds like just needs a little bit of cosmetic work. Does that sound about right?
There's good probability there, yeah,
Okay.
if any.
Okay. And then I remember you said that you didn't want to have to take on this property and take on a second mortgage. What amount does she owe left on the mortgage?
Let's see. I think they purchased it about 10 years ago, and I think she was paying around 900 a month, somewhere around there.
Okay, so she pays 900
I
a
have to
month
look at
too.
the paperwork, but I believe that's what she told me.
Okay, and do you know how much she owed, that the remaining balance to the mortgage? On the mortgage?
Well, so she's only bought it 10 years ago. I would legitimately say she probably still owes over at $900 a month. Probably around 290.
Okay, so she more or less 290,000, right?
That would be, yeah, it's an approximate number, but yeah.
Got you. Okay. And so then let me ask you this. So knowing that the house needs work, and she owes 290, what number are you looking to get out of this?
Well, I mean, realistically, I know the house is only worth 300,000. She owes 290, so there's not much meat on the bone there for me. So, whatever I can get to cover my expenses for the back and forth and for taking care of the property would be acceptable.
Got you. Yeah, because I definitely can't buy it at 290 cash. So I'll let you know that I'm not your buyer right there. Have you you considered maybe listing the property?
No, I've never actually considered that because of the real estate fee and all that. I know I won't come ahead on that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you would come out positive either because of the commissions you would have to pay. That's one thing.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And then are you by chance interested in maybe you putting in the money to fix it up a little bit and renting it out?
It never crossed my mind, actually.
That's a way. That's a way you can turn this into some positive cash flow, because there's not really any money to be made when you sell
well,
it.
it's a small town. I don't know how much, but because I don't even know what rent goes around there.
Got you. Well, I'm sure it's more than 900 bucks, so that's what she's paying. So the only way that I can purchase this, right, because I could purchase a couple different ways if cash doesn't work. The only way that this would make sense for me is basically if I just take over the existing debt of the 290, right? You said you still have to make a payment to that. Yeah, I can agree. It's only worth 300 grand. There's no way that I'm going to make money, or you're going to make money on a cash, especially cash, right? You're going to lose money after paying.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. There's not too much of a margin there. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that I can do, I can just buy it over and take over the existing debt. meaning I'm taking over the $290 and $900 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that I can purchase and what I can do. Like you said, you just wanted to have enough money to pay the closing costs. I can go ahead and take it.
Okay. Yeah.
So that makes sense or what?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Cool. So do you have any questions or concerns for me at the moment?
No, not really at the moment. I mean, if you're willing to take over the payments and give me a couple bucks there on the side there just to for everything I've been through, I'll be okay with that.
Cool. That's not a problem at all. And you're okay with me taking over the mortgage and basically just writing up the term?
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I'll be good with that. Absolutely.
Cool. That's something that I can do. I can go ahead and do that. So what I'll do is this: I'll draft over the paperwork and then I'll send it over to your email. What's your email?
It's gman@yahoo.com.
gman@yahoo.com. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and email you right now. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Joe. You have a good
No
night.
worries.
Boom. Bang bang. Very simple, right? Very simple. That was a very simple call too.
I know I made it too easy, right? I
Yeah.
should have made it more complicated for you.
Yeah, or for others, so they can start learning. Yeah. No worries. But do you guys have any questions on why I do some of the things I do or why I ask certain questions or, go ahead and ask.
No questions.
Yeah, no questions tonight, huh? All right. Let me get back to then some cold calling. Some warm-up calls. Da-da.
All right. Guys, I'm sorry to do this. I'm gonna have to cut the night short. We'll catch you back on tomorrow.
Oh, party's over, guys.
Oh my gosh. No, Joe, don't leave us.
Later, Giles.
What's
Take it
up,
easy.
man? You've been hiding all the time?
Me?
Yeah, he was hiding.
I'm always hiding.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, you sneaky bastard.
I'm a behind the curtain kind of guy.
Well, guys, good
All
luck
right.
tonight, and I'll see you all guys tomorrow, okay?
All right.
Good night,
Good night.
Later, Gio.
Bye.
I'm back, guys, for being a little absent right now. I just got on a call with a guy that I just came across in the free group. He has a property from his boss that his boss is willing to sell to him subject to. He said it's multifamily. It's 7 units, a total of 9 beds, 7 baths. And the guys, I need him to go back to the seller and make sure this is adequate. He said it's $569 a month for the mortgage. I said, is that for all 7 properties or per each property? Because if it's for all 7 properties, he's renting out each unit at $500 a month. With there being 7 of them and 5 of them being rented out, that's $3,500 a month you could be getting, but he's getting $2,500 a month and only having to give up $600 for the mortgage. I said, figure out if your boss wants any money down and any interest. If he say no and no, I'm buying this from you right now. I can make $600 in a fucking month myself to assume this contract.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. And basically, I'll do it in a way to where I'll assume it from him for $600 a month and then just split profits with you monthly on whatever it is, if that's what it is. Because if we can get, you damn near looking at like a $12,000 to $14,000 assignment fee on cash flow, if it's just like the 593 or 560 something that he said it is a month for all of them.
Sounds fire. Now, make sure that's the correct mortgage. That sounds fire.
That's what I'm saying. It's in Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, okay. It's a good town.
It's a good town. He said it's a weird. He
It's a bit
said
rough.
that people said it's rough.
That's
It
great.
depends. It depends
Sometimes,
where.
hey, rough people need a place to live too.
Somebody said it depends where.
That
Yeah,
would be
Hold
good.
on. I don't want to
Like,
just give it out just yet. I don't want to give it out just yet. I'm about to Josh. Check this for me real quick. I don't want to get out just yet.
Guys are funny.
You know.
We get to this.
Sean, is there any way you can do a search to see what the crime rate is in that area?
Yeah.
Hey, how do
Do
you
it.
look at crime rates in areas?
I know Pace said something about that, but I can't recall.
Cause yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that Gulfport, Mississippi 10 units that I was trying to do, somebody told me that area, before Stan looked at it, somebody told me that area was like a high crime rated area.
Yeah, I forgot the website, but I know Stan knows the website. There's a website you can check the crime rates and stuff like that.
He just sent me that.
I know there is a website for it. I just can't remember, unfortunately.
He says like
I thought Trulio had a crime heat.
yeah, he crime map, something like that.
Leo.
So as long as it's no higher than a C, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Just as long as the crime rate
actually
is
good
no
'cause
higher
there's-
than the C.
Yeah, like see,
Okay.
these are cool because there's a lot of value add. The only thing is you can't change the location of it. Meaning if it's in the
No.
gonna be
There's,
in
there's
the-
still going to be some crime in the area, but it's not going to be, like I'm going to shoot you dead if you come out of your house type of scenario.
You're talking about East Oakland, California. Nah,
East
just
Oakland.
that's
There you
why
go, brother.
I liked that call that you were on, Carlos, because that dude, I was like, I'm from East Oakland. And when I looked up where it was at in that area, I said, okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a you just walk outside and get shot area, but it is a lot of like, I wouldn't hold you, it's a high amount of like homeless people. A lot of teenagers that run the
this
streets.
area might be more of like I'm gonna keep you in my basement type area.
I was pushing the envelope there a little bit, but you got the gist.
Oh, the one that I just sent you?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
There's a website. Right
I don't know
there
the area. I was just
that
talking about
Quang put
Ohio.
in. You can use that the link that Quang just put in right now.
Yeah, because Youngstown is a pretty good population area.
229 and 255.
Yeah, which one is it?
It's both.
Yeah.
He said it's both. That's why I was trying to figure out.
Is it split up?
I'm trying to figure out where the other one is at.
Say,
I only typed in one.
I was gonna leave. Now you got me intrigued.
Huh?
I said I was gonna leave. Now you got me intrigued.
Oh, my bad. I'm just saying it just popped up. Free Facebook group, people post things, and I was just like, you know what? Let me see what he's talking about. Like, DM me the info, and he was just like, yeah, this is it, man. Like, he's a boss of mine. It's his boss, and I was like, well, shit. Ask it if it's your boss. Don't be scared. If he said he'll sell you his house or whatever his shit's subject to already to help you out, talk to him. I'm like, you already talked to him. Like, ask him, what do he want down? Did he say he wanted something down? Did he not want nothing down? Did he want some interest? No interest? Because if all he wants to do is get rid of that property out of his hands, because he also said it needs like 35 to 40K of work, but 2 of them aren't rented, and one of them has like needs a toilet fix, and one of them has like a leak or something. I was like, bro, you can figure that shit out easily. You feel me, with like a private money lender, and you feel me, like some interest payments, because you for surely gonna make all of your money back fast if it's only no interest, no down payment, $596 a month. You feel me? Like there's no way you can mess up. Like, how do you mess this up?
Listen, forget that buddy of yours. Get the boss's number. Talk to him directly.
That's what I was saying. I told him to cue me in on a call. If you get stuck on anywhere talking to him, don't text him, call me so I can talk to him about it.
That's it.
I was like, call him and then so chime me in third way so I can talk to him too. And I explained it to him the same way that I explained it to you because I'm not here to do nothing weird or take nothing from nobody. I said, let's just get it. You feel me? I was like, I can make it to where everybody gets an easy win. If he don't want no payments, I mean, if he don't want no interest and nothing down and is willing to sign this over to you at $596 a month, subject to, I'm your buyer, legitimately your buyer.
I can see why you're excited about it. Yeah, I would be
Yeah, he's
too.
fired up. This guy is fired up right now about that deal.
$600 and the five times five is 25. You take 6 away, it's 19. You take another 4 or so, just as trying to chop it in thirds to be able to have some put up to the side money in case other things go wrong. Still looking at around 1,000, 1,200, positive cash flow in your pocket. With 2 more rentals that you still can get people in for an extra $1,000, 5 and 5. I'm not seeing a loss from this. I just need to know if his boss wants money down and any interest.
Yo, what's up, Benny?
Oh, shit, no. You can raise the rent on it at least a couple $100 a month.
Whatever balloon he wanted. I said, I just need to figure that stuff out. And I bet you I can get this underwrote and figured out in less than 2 hours.
Get it done. Talk to the main man.
Bang,
bang. Get that guy's number.
But yeah, but the employee of the boss who brought it to me, he's like, he don't know if he wants to take it down himself or wholesale it. So I gave him both situations of how much money he can make keeping it himself or wholesaling it and how we would do it both ways. And he was just like, all right. And I was like, it's the best way to do it right now. If you want to, you feel me? I'll figure out how to buy that shit on me. I'd get a private money lender for $14,000 just to assume it off of it. And then figure out the $600 and the rehab and all that later. As he says right now, it's still without doing any rehab, you're pulling in $2,500 a month without doing no rehab, rented $2,500 a month.
Sean, I got faith in you, brother. Get that guy's number. Get the big boss's number. Get it done.
I got to get this
You
one.
can do it. Okay, I got to exit on that. I'll never end the call anyway.
All right, now.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, later, Joe. What up? What up? I'm gonna start doing some calls right now.
Yep.
You guys have any leads? Put them in the side chat. I'm gonna go put yourselves on mute. I'm gonna go ahead and just start doing some calls. Let's see. We're going to share my screen. Here we go. Boom. Call a couple leads real quick. We'll call your guys' leads. I'll go back and forth so I stay busy. Bang, bang. She shot me down. Bang, bang. Hey, what's up, Ernie? This is Carlos with Left Coast Buyers. How you doing, man? Carlos, we haven't had a chance to touch base just yet. You've spoken with my associate Edith in the past about selling your property off of Leaf Tree Circle. Yeah, whenever it is, I just got a note on my desk today that said give Ernie a phone call. So just touching base with you right now. Oh man, okay, cool. So who did you speak with? Oh, you already got the properties already locked up? Got you. What did you guys, what did the buyer lock it up for? What did you lock it up for? How much you sell it for? Oh, got you. Okay, cool. What are you guys listing it for? You have a good one. Bye. Okay. Is listing. I couldn't hear the seller. You guys not, no one was able to hear him?
I hear nothing.
You guys weren't able to hear him? It was hard for me to hear him.
Yeah, I ain't really hearing nothing from it. It sounded like they was blowing you up.
All right. Cool.
Forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 20951827779 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, what's up, Pete? It's Carlos, just touching base with you really quick. When you have a chance, go ahead and shoot me a call back. Would love to talk to you and your wife, see how we can move forward with this property. You can call back 925-966-1271. Thank you. Okay.
Who's interested in 3K down with closing costs on a gutted house in Indianapolis?
Bada bada bing bing bong. Here we go. 510-436.
Please leave a message after the
Hey, what's up, Robert? This is Carlos with Left Coast Buyers. How you doing, man?
All right.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. You had spoken with one of my assistants, Edith, about selling your property off of 104th Ave.
Uh-huh.
Just touching base with you. Did you have a couple minutes to chat?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
We can talk.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just need a couple minutes. I typically jump on the phone call with the sellers and see if the properties work for us, and then we cut the check. So just bringing it up right now on my computer. What's got you considering selling the house?
Okay, what was that?
I said I'm bringing up the property right now on my laptop so I can look at some comps. I was saying, what's got you interested in selling the house, man?
I'm trying to see if I can sell the house, make some money.
Got you. Okay, because the market is pretty high right now, huh?
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah. So is there another reason, or it sounds like right now, because the market's up, you want to take advantage of the equity that you've most likely built in, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Got you. Okay, cool. So, if we were to come to an agreement on a number, how soon are you looking to sell that house? Do you need, 30 days or less, or a little bit more than that?
Maybe about 2-3 months. You got to kick my tenant out first.
Are they month to month right now?
Yeah,
Okay. What are they currently paying?
2,600.
Okay. Is that what market rent is right now, or would you say that's a little bit under market?
To keep the tenants happy.
Got you. Okay, so would you, I guess, since your time frame is more than 2 to 3 months away, is it best if we talk about buying the house today, or is it better if I just follow up in a few months?
Well, we can do either, we can see what you have to offer. Maybe even do some research on your end and talk to your people if I don't know how large your company is, but then maybe you can make me an offer.
Okay. So I'm just going to ask a couple questions so I can kind of figure out what the condition is, and
Sure.
I'll give you a little bit of an offer.
Sure.
Okay. So have you visited the property maybe in the last few years just to see the condition of it?
Yeah, it's in good condition. I mean, maybe there's a few fix-ups needed. So it's maybe 1 out of 10. It might be a 9. Yeah, but whatever repairs there need to be made, I would make it before selling. Okay.
Got you. Okay. And here's one thing, just to make sure that we can see if we're even going to be the right fit, because, unfortunately, I don't buy everything I look at. It's just the way it goes. But here's how my business model works. So just to see really quick if we're even going to be a good fit. When I buy properties, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
Well, I was saying when I buy properties cash, I look to find properties that need a little bit of work so I can get them at a little bit of a discount under market, so I can put money and then flip it for a profit. Would your property be something that would fit my model, or would you just rather list this? Got you. Yeah, I don't think then. Okay. What were you asking for the property?
Anywhere between 575 and 620.
Okay. So if I was able to make sense of those numbers, the only way that I'm able to buy something like that, because cash doesn't normally work for me if it's going to be like a higher market price. Obviously, I can't make money on the front end. So a couple suggestions. I think listing it to get that price would be the best way. If not, I think just continuing to maybe upgrade it and rent it out. The only way that I can purchase it this way, though, would be on terms. Have you ever considered selling the property that way?
So that's too high for you, That's okay.
Say it again.
If that's too high for you, that's okay. You can keep searching.
What I'm saying is, if I'm able to pay that price, would you sell it to me on terms?
So you think you might be able to pay to get through?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways I purchase properties, and when I like to fix and flip when I buy cash, and I purchase properties on terms to justify the price that a seller is asking. So if a seller is asking, a higher market price, obviously I can't buy it cash because it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't rule me out. So I buy it on terms, meaning I come to a higher price point, so closer to market. And then typically the way it works, it's kind of like when you go to the bank to get a mortgage or to the car dealership to get a car. Typically some money down and we come to an agreement on a payment over a set length. Would that work with you? That's actually how I buy a lot of my properties right now for the, what's up? I couldn't hear you. Okay. So here's a couple of things, that you kind of already receive as a landlord. You get a monthly check, right? You get that passive income. The cool benefit about this is when you turn yourself into the bank, you're no longer liable to the home, meaning that you still get a monthly check just like a landlord. But this time around, you don't have to deal with the tenants or the property or the improvements anymore since you don't own the house. You're selling it to somebody on payments. And so the amount of money that you produce and bring in, that becomes more of your net because you no longer have to save, I don't know, 15-20% of what you bring in for a rainy day for toilets or doors, whatnot. But it's a good way to sell the house. And on top of that, not sure if you were gonna spend the money on maybe another investment, but if you weren't planning to, you also defer the taxes this way, so you don't have to pay all the gains up front on this. So what I wanted to ask you, right? If I was able to justify, right, like let's say your asking price, 575, right? What type of term are you willing to give me? Meaning, what type of money down, and how long would you be willing to finance me? And how I make money is whatever you're going to charge me just needs to be less than what I can charge rent, right? Market rent. So I just need to make some money in between the months to be able to pay a higher price.
You figure that out and make me an offer.
There's nothing that comes in mind. And the reason why I bring it up is the reality is, as me as an investor, I'm going to want to offer you, I don't mind giving you your price, but I'm going to want to give you 0% and like the lowest payment for the longest term. When I walk into a bank, they typically give me the term first. And if it works, I buy it. If not, I counter. That's kind of what I wanted to see with you, because I just kind of explained how I would give you my offer. I'd give you your asking price. It's just that I wouldn't be giving you much money down or much a high payment. I'd want to go like long term and everything. That may not work for you. And who am I to dictate what works for me in your house? So if you're open to this, kind of, let me know if you are, what type of money down that you would want and how long you'd be willing to work with me on this.
What kind of terms you want, what the interest rates you want, given the current interest rates in the market. So why don't you figure all that out and make me an offer? That's what I'm saying. See if it works for me.
Well, I told you that I would do your asking price if you would do a low amount down or no money down. And I'm not opposed to paying interest, but if you're asking me to give you an offer, I would say I'd give you your asking price with no interest and a low amount of money down.
I'm not saying no interest. I never said that.
No, I'm saying that because you're asking me to give you my offer. And what I was saying, hey, as an investor, obviously if you're giving me the option to give you an offer, I would give you, your asking price. But since I'm coming up to that asking price, I'd like my terms to make sense for me as well. And, obviously no money out of my pocket and no interest is definitely beneficial for me. That's why I'm asking you what would work for you. You're asking me what would I'd offer, and I'm telling you that I would offer very low is on the money down and the interest rate. But if you have, a certain amount that you need, maybe I can give you that. Let's do that. Just I know that you're not in a rush. I want you to think about it. It's not your typical buy. So let me touch base with you in about a week and we'll go over it again. All right. Thank you. Bye. Let me put some notes down. Number. You have an alert that tells you to call back. Yeah, so there's a Podio. There's a whole bunch of the CRM systems that you can put tasks to call you back. You can connect it to your phone, and then it'll alert you just like a regular reminder. Notice Carlos doesn't say a whole lot. Just by cutting out filler words definitely conveys confidence.
Here. Who has an active LLC and will call somebody for me?
I got an active LLC.
Says investor deal for business with active LLC. We can offer, we can owner finance 3K down plus closing costs, as is with no warranty or contingency. Asking price is $30,000.
Oh, asking price is 30 grand. What's the worth?
Gee, hold on. I was just running comps on that bitch too. Hold on, right here. Ooh, the comps is terrible.
Gotta be exciting. The numbers are low, so it has to be a good spread. Or like, hopefully not a lot of work to be done.
Fuck no, he said the house is gutted.
Are you lying?
Hell no. I texted this person. I called them a bunch of times before my other phone didn't answer. And I found when I texted them on this one, they said it still is available, but the house is a shell. And it says you'll have to build up. So I said, has this been gutted? They said, yes, pretty much.
So find out what the ARV is, and then if it's a shitty deal, fucking don't seller finance it.
Shit, the comps I just got was trash. Both of them is 2 1s instead of a 3-1. They're kind of close, depending on if that's a main street. No, that's not a main street. Tell me now, Jerry. 80? I don't think that's adequate.
You want me to call this guy?
No, I'm saying that was the house. I'm trying to comp it. I'm looking at the area and shit. It's at 109. So that's 3. That's a 3-2-12.
Anybody have any questions? You see how I stuck to the basics though? Got my motivation, timeline, condition, price. Maybe I didn't ask him to list all that extra shit. I just kind of just told him about it, rolled into it. Didn't sound too motivated. Didn't sound like he was leading towards my shit anyways, but Still had to hit him with the basics. There's this house that sold for 105. Number 3 right here. So let's see this. Home details. 1900 year build. Fucking old.
Getting somewhere between, I want to say like 40 to 60 probably.
What's the square foot on that thing again?
1108.
Oh.
Yeah, he got me right there with that active LLC. But if it looked like what it is, I was like, I know people with active LLCs.
Yeah.
He randomly just took it down, so I followed up with him to see why. I didn't ask him why he took it down. I just asked him if it was still available, and he said, yeah. Well, every time I want to talk, you get to screaming. Huh?
Gang life.
Did she just tell you to shut up?
Yeah, no, we heard that. All of us heard that.
Y'all didn't hear that.
No, we all heard. We all heard the kiddo say that. I love it.
Hey, every time I want to get to talk, that shut up. No, all right. All right, you want food? You want, huh? No,
Yo, I'm gonna go ahead and just call some more leads. Unless anybody else has additional leads, I'll call some more leads off my shit. Bada bing, bada bing. All right. Okay.
I want to call them. Somebody let me use the name of the LLC.
Yeah, our boy.
Girl. Get that your mouth.
Some left coast buyers in this bit.
Left coast buyers.
3K down, man. If it ain't that, if I can figure out, like you said, if it ain't that
Left coast buyers isn't mine. It's that he just likes me to present myself since I call his radio ads left coast buyers. So I just
I know. I'm just saying I don't have no LLC though.
Yeah.
I don't got no LLC. Hey, it's Shane, you know. I'm like, oh, so what LLC? Work with Left Coast Buyers LLC. Look it up. I need that 3K down, baby. Closing cost. Trying to assign this thing.
What the fuck? Just empty line. Ah, fuck, working empty line. All right.
Holy snap! Why did you get it all the ground?
Or with those comps, it's a 81. I'm thinking.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, Grace? This is Carlos. How you doing?
Okay, can you hold on 1 second? Let's give you one that was
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. No problem. For your lunch, like dinner.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
About the house, right?
say that again.
You calling about the house?
Calling about the house. Yeah, I spoke to you, I believe, in the past about.
Yeah, we have a contract on it, you know.
You guys are locked up.
We have a contract on it. The guy, we're supposed to have a closing on the 23rd of September.
Okay, so yeah. Oh, because did you just recently sell it or lock it up?
Monday. Today is Wednesday. Monday they put in the money and everything.
Oh, okay, right on. What did you guys sell it for?
475.
Oh, okay, I got you. Do you think they're going to be able to follow through? Oh, that's a benefit for you. What I'll do is this. I'll circle back next month around that time, and I'll check in with you to see if it went through or not. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Take it easy. Dropped the ball over here too many times. I don't have enough. There's not enough me's to call these leads. What's cracking, everybody? How you guys doing?
Good, man. Just trying to make some calls. Or actually, I'm trying to make a list. I was able to get the tax delinquent list for my county for San Diego, and then also the code violations list. I was able to pull that too. I was able to find out.
Nice. You got some good leads.
I'm running through all the properties right now because, like, for the code violations, some of them are like really stupid. Like, there's this one that has like a dog barking complaint. So I gotta like look through them, just so I don't. I'm like making a list right now, so I can skip trace all these addresses. But some of them are pretty. They seem like they're pretty distressed. Like, there was one property that had like mold running up against the wall, and that shit was like breaking down and everything. I think it was already like the third complaint or code violation / complaint filed with it. So I'm just trying to make a list right now because I barely got this information yesterday.
Nice, bro. That's right. Action packed.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to be more proactive. Cold calling is cool and all, but I'm trying to actually talk to some motivated sellers so I can get a deal locked up.
Yeah, man. Improve on your sales skills and let people know you're good. Record some of your calls, put it out there, and watch a whole bunch of leads come into your pipeline. I'm just looking at some stuff.
Oh, my man.
What's up? That's the goal, huh? We call this.
That's the goal. Hopefully I can grow my beard out as long as you one day.
Maybe. Maybe one day. Well, or what I could do is I could shave it and give it to you, bro.
Yeah, I just paste it on my add-on. I don't even think I could grow mine out that long, to be honest, even if I tried.
I mean, I trim it. I used to trim it all the time, so like it would literally probably be a lot longer because I haven't cut it for a couple of years. But I'll trim it down or cut it shorter. But in reality, this shit could have been like way longer.
Damn, that's what's up.
All right, make another call real quick.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Penny? It's Carlos.
Oh, hi, Carlos. How are you?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
Well, I'm not quite fantastic, but I'm still kicking around. So, sorry I didn't get a hold of you yet this week. I just got back from Montana. I got to go back up. Jay's gonna have surgery.
Oh, man. I was gonna ask you how Jay's doing.
I appreciate your kindness. He is not well. So,
oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Can we revisit the home thing in a couple of months or at least a couple of weeks after his surgery so I know what's going on there? Would that be acceptable to you?
Well, 100%. I'm not in a rush. I was just being diligent and trying to follow up. And so now that I understand what's going on, I don't mind giving, calling you guys in a few weeks.
Yes, that would be great. And as soon as I find out what's going on with the surgery and that, I will let you know. Like I said, he's not in a state of mind to voice any opinions right now. So
Okay, well,
it's worse than I thought it was.
sorry to hear that. I hope things do turn around and get better.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I know your business is going to flourish because of your compassion, and I appreciate you. Like I said, if I find out figure out what's going on with the surgery and stuff, I'll let you know before. But please don't hesitate to call back in a couple weeks. I appreciate it.
I won't hesitate at all. I'll go ahead and follow up in a few weeks, and you enjoy yourself, and I hope everything goes well. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You too.
Good night. Bye.
This is David Washington. Hi, this is David Washburn. I'm sorry I missed your call. Please leave a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, what's up, David? It's Carlos. Just touching base with you. You can give me a call back. I had called you a few times about your property that you have off of Ohio Ave. You had spoken with my associate, Chris, trying to touch base with you. Give me a call back, 760-902-7843. Thank you.
Speak to me.
Yo, what's up? What's up, David?
Is this Carlos?
Yeah.
Carlos, I'm in the middle of something. Can I call call you back in a few minutes?
Yeah, no rush.
Okay, I'll get back to you in a few minutes.
All right, cool. Talk to you soon. Bye. This guy says, speak to me.
That is what he said when he answered the phone, right?
Speak to me.
He go crazy, but I swear I heard that was speak to me.
Let's run some Q&A for now, guys. What's cracking? Does anybody have any questions on maybe any sellers they've been dealing with, or maybe something about their business, something about acquisitions?
I met a lady at the park the other day. She gave me her number, asked her to take a picture of me. And she said, why? I said, because I'm weird. I just want to post it on Facebook. Then I told her my life story about my business. And she's like, oh, I have a fixer upper house. I want to fix it up before I put it on the market. I tried calling her. She didn't answer, but I could give you the number if you want to try to call. Since I'm not a closer yet, I'm just getting phone numbers and verifying leads.
Sure. What's the number?
253-508-9237.
Okay, what's her name?
Cindy Mann, Cyndi, and then Mann.
All right, Cindy Mann. You have an address?
She didn't give me her address because it was weird, wasn't confident. I'm like, maybe you give me your address, like not confident yet because I'm new at it, so watching you, I'm gonna copy what you guys are doing, serious, get to the points, and that's it. So
you got it, bro. You'll overcome it. Don't even worry about this shit. This shit is it's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. So just get comfortable with it. Otherwise, figure something out that's not this, right? If you want this, it's part of the game. If not, pay someone to do it, or JV with somebody to do it. That's, you got those choices, or obviously this game probably isn't the one.
Don't pull back on me. I got this. I'm 100% into it.
You approached her and told her your story. That's fucking, that's getting her warm already.
No, I just need the practice of talking to people and understand what I'm saying. I just knew I was a carpenter for a long time. I never talked to people and try to buy their houses, so.
I'm gonna call this Cindy girl, okay?
Do it.
When did you talk to her?
It was about 2 weeks ago. And so I tried to follow up last week. She didn't answer. So I left a message, and obviously she didn't call me back.
This is how I used to wear my hat, guys.
You're good, man. That's how I do too.
You should bring that back.
I'm bringing it back, bro.
I'm gonna try it.
I'm gonna do that TI. You know what? You guys know, what is it? What is it? Flavor? No, it's I Love New York. There's I Love Flavor Flav. There's this guy, Tango, my boy. Like this.
Like
my boy
that?
Tango. That's the way to do it. Yeah, but Josh, you look straight like the white version of Tyler the Creator, bro.
I am the white version.
The white version of Tyler the Creator. Look at Jesus' laugh. He's like, this is so true. Fucking Shane. That's Tyler the Creator.
Why?
You guys see it? You guys see it, right? You guys see it. Y'all see it.
Yeah, I see it for sure.
Tyler the Creator is my shit though.
It's Supreme. That's good.
Yeah.
Earl sweatshirt, all that.
Hey Stan, I called Penny right now, and Penny answered, but she said that she's going through some things with Jay, and Jay's having surgery, not doing too well, and she said that if it would be okay if we can reschedule. And I just told her, yeah, of course, that we can reschedule for 2 or 3 weeks, but she said that she's interested in talking to us still, and if we could just give her a little bit of time, she'd be open to talking to us. So I just told her, we'll follow up in 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, that works. At least we know that she's still interested in what we had to offer. I did reach out to that agent as well, in regards to the Blankenship property that we sent seller terms yesterday. He said that he's still finding out from the seller if he's wanting to accept their terms. I mean, it sounds
Uh-huh.
like more than likely he will, just because they're already over 100 days on the market,
Yep.
and it fits right in our buy box, right? So
Yeah, that'd be nice. There's this property, the one you text me.
yeah, in or what was it, Florida?
Yeah. Purchase price 267. 222 is what they owe, 45 in equity, 25K of the 45 upfront. Okay, remaining 20K in 7 years, but we'll keep the mortgage in their name for 29. Oh, they just bought it?
Yeah, last year.
Okay. We got a good interest rate.
Yeah, they got good interest rate. The only way it's gonna fit in our criteria for a cash flow, we have to rent it out for 2,100 a month. I asked her if the 1950 is based on the market rent on an ARV level, or if that's just currently as is. I'm assuming it's probably as is, but if that's the case, then we're only gonna cash flow after all expenses like $205.
Wait, how much is their PITI?
1,700 was, or I'm sorry. Does it say on there what their PITI was? If not, I can look what it is.
Hold up. Total PITI is $1,400 is for the PITI, 1425.
Is there PITI?
Yeah, so the total PITI on the photo you sent me says 1424.
Yeah, that's because there's that 20,000 that we would have to sell her finance, which is an extra 40 something dollars. That's what's making.
Oh, so this is off of the purchase price of 25,000 minus.
Yeah. The 20, there's 20K of seller finance there. She did say that the comps in the area is as is. I think paint would change that place completely. I also target midterm rentals. So if she's saying midterm rentals, that's ideally like short, like Airbnb 30 days plus, right? Travel nurses or corporate renters and charge even more, which is ideal. I mean, we could turn that around and do that.
Gotcha.
So it has a possibility. It's just more of the upfront entry fee. It's a little bit over 20%, but if we modify maybe the down payment, or we can adjust for assignment fee or whatever, just to stay in that 20% purchase price, then this might be a potential deal too.
What's the ARV on it? You know?
I don't know. I haven't run comps. I'm actually still driving home, so I should be on the computer in like the next 10 minutes. I haven't run comps on it, but you have the address if you want to run comps.
It's in here?
Yeah, if not, I can tell you what it is. It's 21480 Shannon Avenue.
21 480
Shannon Avenue.
$21,408.
480. I believe it's like a 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
4-bed? Looks like it's 2-bed, 2-bath.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2-bed, 2-bath. Sorry.
Okay, it's 1,200 square feet. Let's see. 1981.
1,256 square feet. The PITI is 1,377 on their end. So we could potentially wrap this if it's. We could also wrap this also.
Is that right? 19. Okay, 81. Oops, my bad. 1. 1971. 91.
I think we're gonna go under contract on that 9 unit when I was underwriting the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna I gotta redo the LOI from 815. We're readjusting the price down to 775.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then we should be able to fund it in the next week or two and close it.
Gang.
Dang.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
That's
I see like 330.
330.
Actually, one for 329, one for 330 in the same neighborhood. Those are the highest comps. Everything else is 238, 280, 270, 260.
So 330. Okay.
Yeah, 340. There's one for 340 right here.
There's only 63,000 in ARV spread.
I mean, that's cool. Just the amount of money that they're asking down is what's gonna be hard. It's more like you won't have much room if you have to put a large amount down because your lender's gonna want to get some profit.
Right. I mean, we can give her a call. It's not directly with the seller. It's actually this girl that I'm talking to that has that website.
Wow.
Did I send you that website link?
Well, website link.
Here. Let me send it over to you.
Jiggity jiggity jam. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like there's a lot of activity in that neighborhood. Where's there? Carlos.
Yeah, there's one for 405. That one's a little bit larger. 21,480. These are the photos. Okay. Oh shit.
Oh, it's about that time for me, y'all. You feel me? Yeah, be smooth, keep it tight. You feel me? Big powerhouse gang in this thing.
Peace out, bro.
where's Shane?
Hi, Shane.
Better G. It needs work, yeah. So it needs cosmetic work. But okay.
According to her, it's like light work, exterior, interior paint, light fixtures.
Yep.
Post on there.
Yep. Yeah, I guess we'll just look at that a little bit later to see if we can buy it or not.
Yep.
Or fucking if it makes sense or not.
Is there any deals you guys need me to underwrite? I just got home.
Not at the moment, no.
I got one, but I'm waiting on a little bit more information on it.
Anybody else aside from Carlos and the regulars?
Hey Stan, this is Danny.
Hey, what up, Danny?
What's up? Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, sure.
So I did call the owner of that fourplex in Reno.
Uh-huh.
And she threw out a number like 350,000. And just was asking a lot of questions about loan servicing company, how it all worked to take over the current mortgage, and capital gains liability for the amount they might be willing to carry, and what kind of terms it would look like. And the motivation for the 350 would be to pay off of a different rental they have up in Reno.
Okay, that makes sense. So if you want, kind of just brief us a little bit backstory on the property. That way Carlos has an idea. He's better at answering when it comes to the tax liability, just because he's explained this multiple times to other sellers. But just kind of give us like a brief overview of what the property is.
Yeah, so it's a fourplex property right next to UNR, the university, the major university in Reno, Nevada. walking distance. Apparently housing for dorms is pretty expensive there. So this is a great alternative for students. It's currently 100% occupied with 9 tenants, basically one per bedroom. 3 of the units is a bedroom, 1 of the units is a 3-bedroom, and they're also generating additional revenue, charging for the parking spaces there, because I get an issue at UNR as well. They're currently asking 1.3 million on Zillow. They've reduced the price quite a bit, 100,000 in the last month. She did say they had it under contract for 1.35. The buyer wanted to extend due diligence. They did obtain inspection reports, so they actually did do an inspection, but they didn't want to extend the due diligence, and she's saying that's the reason that it fell out. Since then, they've reduced the price from, I think, around 1.39 down to 1.3. Currently have a mortgage at $420, 2.9%. They have updated the property on the inside since they've owned it, it looks like, based on the previous photos. And it looks like their net operating income is around $8,000 a month.
That's nice.
Yeah, so Stan helped out underwriting a little bit, you know, kind of broke that net operating income down to like 6,200 or 6,300 a month after management, maintenance, and occupancy. And so she's trying to see if there's a way, like I mentioned, taking over her mortgage, the subject to, and she did throw a number about cash for down payment at 350,000. And if she carried the note, what would that look like if we could even make those numbers pencil to make it worth it to take over? So she's open to the idea of creative financing, and a month ago she wasn't. So.
Okay. And what made the difference is the cash offer. People couldn't give her that number, maybe because they couldn't get financing that was affordable for them.
Yeah, I mean, the reason they walked, they said they wanted to extend the due diligence based on what she's telling me. And I don't know.
So she had like a serious buy. She had a serious buyer at 1.39, and then because she didn't extend the due diligence, she then just decided to walk away from that and then lower it 90,000.
And that's 1.35 is what she had it at under contract. It was listed at 1.39, had it under contract at 1.35, and decided to let them walk. I asked them, as the buyer, to say, their name or a signee, just to see if there was some type of wholesaling going on there. But she said no, it was just one single buyer. But yeah, so it sounds like a strange story. Why would she let them go? But the market has definitely shifted since then, at least here in Las Vegas, and I think up in Reno as well. But this is a unique property just for the fact that it's a fourplex right by the university with easy access for students.
Got you. So she wants like a large amount of money down. Typically, when you get a large amount of money down, you like if it can pencil, like if it can cash flow, she's obviously bringing in $9,000, right? If our payments are, allowing us to net some good money, then there's ways around giving her the money she's looking for. The difference when doing this, that much money, is typically when you're getting a lender in, like a non-recourse lender, something like that, to give you a big substantial amount of money down, they're going to want to sit in first position to fund the deal. So one of the little tricks to it is, while speaking to them, you're going to have to overcome two things. You're going to have to overcome them going in second position, meaning that if you give them 350, you're going to have them. Yeah, because either you could do like I guess you can get the 350 or even get a non-recourse loan for around 70% or 80% of the purchase price. No matter what, you're going to have them sit in second position, unless you're giving 350 out of your own pocket or the end buyer is. So no matter, most people are going to, if pulling that much money, they're going to use a lender that's going to want to sit in first for funding that part of the deal. So that's one part to overcome it. And then basically the way it works for the creative finance way is you can pay us, you can pay market price or a little bit more with the right term, meaning if she's asking for a lot of money down, get us a good term on it, give us 10 years, get us where we're making, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 profit out of those 9 grand. We're making an actual good change in there. You get the right term, right interest, right money down, it could work. The thing is with the short term, especially in a downward economy, what happens if you're paying them top dollar and in 2 years, that's what you agreed to balloon them, and you can't get it appraised for the price. You can't refinance it. Then you're stuck in that scenario, and now you're forced to renegotiate or default.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I would just try to see additional. If we're able to give her, I would try to, I guess, negotiate the amount of money down, see what her goals are. Hey, what would be the reason why you need so much money? Are you planning to invest with it? You might find out she might only need 30 grand. Oh, I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to buy my nephew some gifts. What's that going to cost you? 15, 20 grand. Okay. So why do you need 350? Why don't we just do like 15, 20 grand? One way you can find out they don't need it. And if they tell you, oh, I just want that money down, I don't want to do anything with it, I'm going to put it in the bank. You can tell them, yeah, okay, but you're going to pay capital gains on that 350. This way, we give you a low amount of money down. You save more of your money since you're not paying a big tax on it. If you're gonna want 350 and then you're not going to do anything with it, but sitting in the bank, you're not even making money doing it that way. You're losing money with inflation. What is it, 9-10%, and the bank's giving you 0.9 or 1%. It's not the smartest thing to do. I always bring that into the scenario.
And then that's what I was thinking, because she mentioned 350 to pay off one of her other properties, and I'm like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just leverage the existing loan that you have, especially if it's at a lower interest rate than what you can get today? So maybe I have to just dig and find a little more motivation and see, does she really need that much money? Because it sounds like the best way to go about it would be a lower down payment and have her carry that entire difference above the existing mortgage on her own. And she would just be in second position at that point, right?
If it's a large amount of money down, if it's not a large amount of money down, a lender can fund the deal for, and sit in second or third position. When it's like a substantial amount of money down, nobody's going to sit in second or third if they're coughing up 300, 400, 500 grand. They're going to want to sit in first position, the one that is liable to getting paid first out of all the positions. And then second can come, whatever money's left goes to second position.
So a substantial amount would, you think, under 100 grand or 70 grand or 50 grand?
I think that a lot of people are willing to pay up to 10% of the purchase price of money down for at least down payment to the seller. So this is where I typically try to be. If I'm paying closer to a market price, I try to give them 5 or 10 grand down. If not, I know that I want to stay ideally in between 5 to 7% down. If not, I'll go up to 10% money down just to the seller. But if I can keep everything under 10%, meaning all the entry fees like closing costs, renovations, you got a sweet deal. If not, I can go up to 20%, but that's going to cover renovations, closing costs, holding costs, money to the seller, the wholesaler, any arrears like that. And I just need a good term, so they make sense for me to cash flow on it. And most likely I'm going to be doing like an Airbnb if it's going to be like 20% of the purchase price, especially if they're in the millions, because 20% of 1 million is like, what do you think? 10% is 100 grand, 200 grand. So now the thing is, you got to think about this when you get a lender in place. Now, how are you going to structure their return on the amount that you need to fund the deal? And if the seller is giving me 10 years to pay off the loan, but my lender's only giving me 6 months to a year, how do I pay them out that whatever large amount of money they're giving me, 100 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is? How am I supposed to pay them out? Meaning, in 6 months, am I able to cash out refinance? Does that even make sense? You can probably refinance, but you're probably not going to keep the low interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's that. You can see if you can pull a HELOC. HELOC's going to maybe give you the amount of money that's going to help you pay your lender in time. Get another lender to come in there and pay him off. Maybe you can list it and sell it. I doubt it with 6 months from now, but I'm trying to give the options of how your lender can get paid out of this deal. Because if you're not coming up with the money that's about to go down into this, somebody else can, but it still has to make sense. And so one way is if there's a large spread on the ARV from the purchase price. Obviously, there's equity in that. You pull a HELOC, or you can sell the note for a discount and then have your cash. Whatever the scenario is, just that's a part of the game too. Is you're going to get a lender in there one way or another. It's going to sit in first or maybe second or third, just depending. And then you have to factor how you're going to balance them out.
Okay. Have there ever been instances where you can JV with one of those lenders for a percentage of equity, or
that's the next step? So the reason why I don't mind going 10 or 20% on a large purchase price is because then I can just find somebody to partner with the deal. Be like, hey, I'll give you equity position in there, even split. Because they fund the deal, right? So syndicate yourself. So one way you can do it on a large amount of money down is give somebody the right to be an equity holder in there, shareholder basically in the deal, and you can do it. You can get it funded like that. So that's one way. So then you also want to make sure that you're cash flowing great, you're getting good amount. So then it makes sense for the lender to come in. They're gonna put the numbers on paper. If I'm giving $100,000 and we're making 2,000 and I'm making 1,000, that could be a good deal. Could be a good deal. For them, that's why they don't mind it. That's somebody that you have to find that has a lot of money sitting. So it's not hard to find it. We can find it, but that makes more sense when that's why when it's 10%, worst case scenario is you just tell your lender to be your partner. If he's open to doing it, you no longer have to return him the $100,000 in 6 months. You guys can game plan that together. And hey, even though you have 7 years on the term, you might find out in 3 years you can refinance it at a better rate. Boom. You clear them out. So it's a little bit easier once you have a partner in there that's bringing the money. He's like your actual partner, though.
So, you can skin this cat 1,000 ways. It just depends on what the seller is open to doing, and then what terms they're willing to take if they get that price. Okay. All right. And then how do you go about having that conversation with the seller and presenting those options? It's just.
So it's a lot about just conversating with them, right? Maybe, why she's open to, okay, well, actually, no, I remember the story now. She's open to terms, but I would bring up some benefits to it, right? Like reasons why you like selling it on terms. Obviously, there's a lot of benefits to you, but there's a couple of cool parts, right? You're paying all the money straight to her, the bank, instead of going to another bank and having to pay fees to additional people. You keep the money between principal to principal without having to pay any other people any other fees. You deferred the tax right away. Obviously, on a $1.something million property, he's going to have to pay some gains. Gains, depending on your area, could be upwards of 37%. I like being transparent. I like putting numbers out there so people can hear. So you can imagine, right, Mr. Seller or whatever, for every $100,000 of equity of gains that you actually make on top of what you paid for it, you can be possibly paying $37,000 out of every $100,000 you're making. And he's thinking, what if he bought this shit for $500,000 years ago, And so he's like, oh, fuck.
Ran in 20 or 2019.
What happened?
They got it for $550,000 in 2019.
You see? So in a scenario when you're painting the picture, hey, imagine this: every $100,000, you're roughly having to pay up to 37% on the capital gain, depending on your market. You can imagine you're possibly paying up to $37,000 per $100,000. What did you buy it for? 500, and you're selling it for 1.3. Okay, so 8 times 30 grand. You're possibly giving away 250 off the bat to the IRS. Now, were you expecting to do that, or were you planning to invest the money you got, planning to 1031?
You mentioned 1031.
You find out they don't want to do it 1031. Tell them, hey, I can help you. I can help you protect yourself and save more money this way. If you sell it to me on terms, we avoid the taxes this way. They get deferred since it's not all cash. You'll pay some tax on the little bit of money I give you down, but this is the way that you're going to manage your money for the long run. You're going to keep it for the long run because you're going to it's an investment. You're going to get payments to you. We can ride this out the entire time as well. So you never have to pay a huge gain. Or let's say, you're giving me 10 years. The only time you would have to figure out, the only time you'd have to pay a gain on it is on the 10 years, at the 10-year mark. And then if you want to invest into property, you can then do a 1031 on the remainder. Or if you'd like, you can invest the remainder of the money I pay you out with me. We can just put it in a trust, and I can be the advocate, and then I can take your money, right? So then as you start getting in there, you start turning a lot of your sellers into lenders because they have money. You turn them into lenders. You put them on your little sheet that you save for the future deals. I have a seller that he comes in here now. He comes in here. I bought a home from him, and he's going to get X amount of money down. And once we close early next month, he's going to get a chunk of change, and then I'm going to show him how to use that chunk of change to invest in some of the properties with me or with other people in the powerhouse. But I turned the seller into a mentorship student in here, and then we're going to then take his money and show him how to multiply because he's part of the mentorship with us. But no matter what, we just turn somebody who bought a home from and turning them into a lender right off the bat. Your guy too. I'm buying a house in Arizona right now, and the gentleman doesn't like to pay taxes, and he knows that after he passes, he wants his wife and his daughter to receive all the money that's coming from his rental properties. And so I told him, let me buy it on terms then. That's a way to defer taxes. And he goes, cool, I'll give you 10 years, but I don't want you to pay it off sooner than 10 years. I said, why? What if I wanted to sell it in 5 years or 7 years to get out of it and make the money I need to make on it? He goes, because I don't want to pay no tax. I don't want nothing at all. I said, okay, well, how about this? What if in 5 years, I'm going to make the most money I possibly can on the sale of it? So what if I wanted to benefit and sell it at 5 years, but here's what I can do with the money that you are going to have to pay taxes on. I could take all of that and we can roll it into a trust, and I can then use it and fund my deals. And what I'll do is I'll format it where we make payments to you on the money you invest with us. And let's say if in a scenario where it's time for you to leave here and you pass away, we can have it documented where those payments now get shifted into your daughter and your wife. And he liked that, so he said, okay, I want to sell this home to you, and then next year when I sell the next home, because he's going to start getting rid of his homes, I want to sell all of them to you this way, and then I would love to give you the money after you give it to me. I'd give it back to you. So I went from one home. I didn't know he had additional because I didn't got that far, and now he's like, I like the way you're thinking. I'd actually sell you the rest of my homes. I have 12 homes. I want to sell you the one by one. And I'd love for you to take the money after that and just reinvest it and keep it going and keep making payments to myself if I'm here, if not my children and wife. He loved it. He was about not paying taxes and giving his family the most. And I was able to turn him to one home into a purchase, him into a lender, and then him open himself up to, hey, I have a whole bunch more homes now for you to buy.
And so you're taking out the head managing the property. But you're still cash flowing it as well over that time. And that's the reason you're doing it, obviously, right?
Yeah, I'll be buying one of his homes on terms. And then, so I'm giving him a little bit of money down, like $5,000. And I think it's like 0% interest. I'm making like a flat payment, like I think a principal payment only on it. No interest. For 10 years, it was like $600 and it clears out the remaining balance. And he basically, I explained to him if I needed to cash out in less than the time, like he wanted to give me 10 years. And I said, if I needed to sell it in 5 or 7, I want to sell it. And he goes, I don't want you to do that. I don't want to pay taxes. So we set it up basically at any time before the 10 years, if I needed to balloon it, that we'd have to set something up where then he can then 1031 the money into some of the deals I have. So he's going to fund my deals, my entry fees on all the sub 2 deals.
So he's just kicking the tax can down the line.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with people that have those expensive homes, more or less they're around money, they have money, or they had money and they're losing the money right now. So they're around that shit. And if they have a good team, CPAs and advisors and stuff, they don't like to pay taxes either. So this could be a very beneficial way for them to be like, oh shit, you're painting the picture for them so well. Perfect. Boom. Even in a scenario where they're giving you the right payment, right? Let's say they're giving you 2 G's in there to make yourself and you're about to lose the deal. You can even tell them, why go the other way? On top of me saving you the most money, I can even give you a return on top of your asking price, which is interest, right? And so any fucking number on interest on $1 million is gonna be a lot of money. So you can imagine like, hey, what if I was able to give you another 50, 60 grand over time? Yeah, I'll give you some interest. Instead of shooting 3, 4, 5%, what if I was able to give you another 30, 40, 50 grand, 60 grand over time with interest? And they say yeah to that because now you're jumping the price and you find out that's like half a point instead of you saying, hey, 3.5% or 6%, because they're gonna make a shitload of money on $1 million at fucking 3, 4, 5% over 5 years. They'll make a shitload of money. So instead of shooting yourself in the foot, what if I was able to make you some extra money on your actual money? What do you mean? Interest, right? You go to a bank, you paid interest on, didn't you? On your house? Yeah. So they're making more money than the amount they loaned you. You can make more money than the amount you're loaning me. Do you know that? Oh wow. I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, what additional type of money were you trying to make from me? Were you like 50 grand, 60 grand? You have an idea? You start shooting that and they're like, wow. Because if they're versed, they're gonna be like, that's not enough. That's like half a point or some shit, you know? If they're versed, they're gonna be like, no, I want like going rate. Then you can tell them, hey, I'd go to the bank.
Yeah.
I like to be at 4% or less. So I would shoot for, if there's an interest rate going up, I would shoot less. I'd always shoot less first, let them counter. And if you have to, go up to 4%. But and just make sure you cash flow. But no matter what, they're gonna get so much fucking money after you give them a little bit of interest.
But that's a simple, right? Like they're not front loading like most banks do for the first 10 years on an amortization schedule. It's just flat line, simple interest loan.
It's how you negotiate it. It could be amortized, it could be annualized, but whatever you actually negotiate with them. Some people are like, give me fucking interest only payments. I've seen people do that for 1 year and then refinance out into a conventional loan. Boom. Right? Because he was able to cash flow. He wanted the property. He knew what he was going to do with it. Depends on your strategy, how experienced you are. But yeah, they're annualized. There are flat rates. There are amortized. There are interest only. Typically, I go amortized. I try to go principal only if I can on everything. I try not to give any interest. Anytime they're like giving you large interest, my line is what Pace Morby always says too is I just try to finance that shit. What if I was able to finance that on the purchase price? I don't want it to mess up my cash flow. So instead of paying you 3%, what if I just gave you $20,000 more on the front end and I finance that? Because 3% on the purchase price could be actually 60 grand over the term. So you use skills, and that's how you can knock out the interest. I've knocked them out a couple of times on my deals where we started off at 8%, go to 6%, go down to 0, or even start off at 5%. The deal that I bought in Arizona was like 5%, then I got it down to 0%, paying him a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find this woman's pain point because it sounds like she's got a lot of properties, her and her husband anyway, and
creative finances doesn't need to be pain. It doesn't need to be super distressed anymore. The pain can be like they don't want to pay taxes. That could be their pain.
Oh, I see.
I bought some properties subject to from foreclosures who were distressed. And then I bought 2 properties who I actually helped out an investor homeowner who made a mistake. That's all. They weren't distressed. They just didn't want to lose a little bit of money because they had a whole bunch of other homes and they don't know creative financing. So there was one that I bought that just was losing a little bit of money. And so they weren't super distressed because they had a lot of properties, but they're not a dumb business person. They don't want to lose on one either. I was able to buy one. And then there's another one where they had a lot of properties. They weren't hurting and they wanted to net more money. And since they understood the game, they were willing to go terms. And I bought a home with $10,000 down and I'm financing their equity. I'm actually putting them in a silent position where I'm not making a payment to them for 2 years. They're actually making a $300 payment to the actual PITI for me, and I'm reimbursing them the extra $300 a month over 24 months to $7,200. So when I balloon them their equity, I also reimburse them. That's how creative the shit can be.
On the back end?
On the back end.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's basically literally whatever the fuck you want in creative financing. Like, let's say, because I have French bulldogs, I breed them. Let's say you were a French bulldog breeder, and I hear that, and I hear you have this dog that I've been looking for. I can even be like, yo, I'll even give you 50 grand off of the purchase price, contingent to you give me one puppy out of this litter when it comes into place. Boom, you can lock that into the actual contract. Creative financing is whatever you want. Trades, there are trades that happen. There are a lot of trades that happen. I've seen crazy things. Bitcoin come into play. There's so many crazy things you can do.
Okay, well, I talked to Stan, and like this would be literally a first deal for me. I'm not sure if you'd be interested in talking to this woman. She's offering a 2% buyer agent co-op as well. I'm an agent. I'm licensed here in Nevada, but just for me to see how it all go down, if you were able to get a deal done with her, and I don't know,
100%. I'm always down, bro. Yeah, 100%. You're talking to the right person. I definitely would jump on a phone call, and I'll get straight to the point with her. I'll be transparent. I'm gonna find out her goals with the money, and I'm gonna try to find her the best way to make the most out of her money. And if she's not done with her money, she'd go this route. If she has an investment plan to use with the money that she's trying to sell cash, cool. She knows that she can defer her taxes with that 1031. If she doesn't have any more plans, she's maybe getting older and wants to retire, cashing out and sitting on it is not the best way to go for her, at least.
I don't think she knows.
That's why you always got to find out her goals with her money. What are you trying to achieve here? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, and I did a little takeaway because I just got off the phone with her. I'm like, I talked about the 950 price with that Stan underwrote for a straight cash out, and I said the other option is creative, but I have to talk to my investor, which is you and Stan. And I was like, but a lot of times for creative financing, it's usually for people who are really motivated. And I was like, if you're not really that motivated, I'm not sure if we want to even go through it. And then she was like, no, wait, I am motivated. So, but she's not, I don't feel like she's telling me exactly what her motivation is yet. So she's interested in seeing what kind of plan you might be able to put together for her, basically.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's touch base with her tomorrow if she got time.
Yeah, no, I told her I'd be, probably coming back to the Zoom. I didn't know I was going to jump on tonight because I thought it was over already. But I told her I'd give her another call tomorrow or the next day after I had a chance to speak with you. And with that, I really appreciate it, man. I'll be in touch, and I don't know how often you do these. Stan said you guys kind of do them every night, but I'm really interested in learning. So hopefully I can stick around, or I don't really know how that all works with you.
Yeah, no, bro. Welcome. First off, welcome over here. Thanks. Stan's a good leader here. He underwrites for us every Friday. He's a reason why we underwrite, because basically I'm not the most educated in underwriting. I'm very skilled in acquisitions. That's what I used to do before I got into real estate. So it's the reason why I shine here. I've been doing it for like 10 years. And we learn with Stan. We learn. Josh helps us out with a lot of stuff. So we're really organized together now and coming together as like a little accountability group, mentorship, Monday through Thursday, role play. I go on live seller calls. So even tomorrow we can even do this shit live and record the whole thing. We post them up on our YouTube. Friday, Stan does his thing from 3 to 5 p.m. And then Saturdays now we're hosting like special guest appearances who are going to educate us on certain things. So definitely, bro, just come in here, learn all you can. I'll show you what I've learned in the time that I've been doing this.
All right. Well, me and my brother and now one other guy are like hitting the phones every day, and just being equipped with these tools and this knowledge, I think is going to be able to help us bring maybe more activity into this mentorship and group we've got. So
yeah, bro, bring in your team too. Bring in the team, copy the link. Remind yourself Monday through Friday what time it's at. Come in here and learn all you can. We do a lot of live calls. We'll close live. You're going to learn a lot of stuff from me, especially with me being on the phone. I love being on the phone. I believe that I'm pretty solid on the phone. I work at it. I work a lot of deals, very creative. I don't lock up just regular sub-2 deals. Some of the deals I lock up, they're very creative, just like the one I had explained. I have a few other of them that are very, very creative as well. So I get into a lot of scenarios now. I do a lot of notes and wraps, exiting notes. So I'll show you a lot of stuff that I've learned, and let's get to it, man.
I'll bring my brother and my other caller in, and thank you, Stan. I'm gonna catch some dinner. I have it on the calendar from 3 to 5, pretty much Monday through Friday. Is that right?
Yep.
All right, guys.
That's correct.
All right, Danny.
Carlo, thank you, Stan, and everyone else. Hello, my name's Danny. Nice to meet you all. Look forward to seeing you guys back here again tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Danny.
Bye, Danny.
And
I gotta do the same thing and grab some food with my lady right now, guys. Appreciate you guys. We'll come and do this tomorrow. We'll crush it. Bring your leads. Be prepared. We'll knock them out of the park. If you guys want to do live calls, you guys can knock out your own leads or other people's leads as well. It's not just me. We'll get some role playing in, and we'll wrap up this call tonight. Okay.
all right, guys.
All right, guys.
All right, bro. Have a good night, guys.
Later, guys. Love y'all.
All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow.